Hi, everybody. Welcome to MJ Comics. I'm your host, James Mack, and I'm extremely excited today to announce that my guest this evening is your boy, none other than Gem Mint. Thank you for joining us, Gem Mint.
Bro, I need that hype reel, man.
It was
The many faces of Gem Mint through skinny and fat and long hair and short and beards and no beards.
I mean, to be fair, Gem, you've been on the YouTube scene for quite some time, so it was quite like obviously it was a bit of a transition that you've been through in terms
Yeah,
of your hair and you.
yeah.
I hope you don't mind me saying, but you did lose like a hell of a lot of weight, which was very
Bro,
impressive.
I lost 100 pounds. I don't know how much I put back on though. Definitely not at the lowest that I was at, but I still feel good, feel healthy. Yeah, but no worries. It was a grind. I've been heavy my whole life, man, since like leaving elementary school.
Yeah.
So a couple years ago when I lost that weight, that's the first time I've ever been like, that lean. So
Yeah, no, you looked really really healthy for it, and
yeah.
congratulations for that.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah.
Um, to be fair, I said to you this backstage when you entered in backstage. I thought you'd shaved your hair off, and I thought I was going to get like an exclusive, back to old Gem. I thought it was going to be awesome.
I know, right? That's funny. I don't really rock it like this on camera, but sometimes
And
when I'm sick of it in my face, I'll put it up.
it looks really good.
I don't like the whole thing, the whole stigma that comes with man bun. Like it's so bad to have long hair, put your hair back. If you got a man bun, now all of a sudden you're less of a man. Like what is that?
Yeah, it was exactly. It's just more practical for you because it just gets in the way, doesn't it? So
Yeah. I
yeah.
appreciate Jason Parker Comics. I did hear a lot of comments when I was at my lowest, like "You look sick, Gem. This is too much" and all that. So I kind of agree with you, low key. And I want to say Gemma Mac, second best name on YouTube. I love that.
That is my wife. And
Hey, there we
what I've
go.
got to say is because I've been typing your name in a lot recently.
Uh-huh.
When I type in Gem, it just automatically autocorrect goes to Gemma.
Gemma, that's
But
so
no, I
cool,
appreciate
man.
it. Thank you everybody for joining. We've got 20 people, 19 people watching so
Cool.
far, but I hope more people can join in for this fantastic live stream. To be fair, when I did message you, Gem, I didn't think you'd reply, so I'm really, honestly, really grateful that you showed up to this.
No, of course, man. Like I told you backstage, like I'm always checking like the message request. You never know what's going to come through there. Sometimes it's some sponsorship opportunities. Sometimes it's some collaboration opportunities, or people just wanting to reach out and say thanks. I always check that stuff. So I'm always surprised to hear that. I don't know why everybody wouldn't.
No, I think it's probably because like I'm a really small channel, so it just like for yourself, like I mentioned to this backstage, you're like an OG, YouTuber for comic content. You've been around now since I think is it 2017?
Yeah, October
Yeah.
2017 is when I started. So what's the math on that? I don't know, 6, 7 years, almost 7 years, maybe.
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, about to be 7. I'm not good at quick math.
Well, to be fair, it's you just you've been to be fair, you've done well because you like 159,000 subscribers at
Yeah,
30 million views.
yeah, yeah. No,
Incredible.
it's crazy. The majority of that probably during the COVID era. I think we really jumped from like 30 to 100 at a time where everybody was home watching YouTube, and
Yeah,
a lot of people think, man, just because you have a certain subscriber count that you're automatically this, that, or the other thing. But the truth about YouTube is that you're really only as good as your last video. If
wow.
you are not putting out content or putting out content that people want to watch, you could have we see million subscriber channels that get just a fraction of the views. So
Yeah,
subscribers are nice and appreciative, but it really doesn't mean shit when it comes down to YouTube. It's all about how that algorithm
yeah,
recommends the video based on how people react to it.
yeah. I think you're right because YouTube analytics, they basically, I think, well, primarily I can only speak on my experience, but only probably about 20% of my subscribers watch my content,
Yeah, I
which is
think
not.
10% is a good number. So
Yeah,
20 is great. The
I,
thing is, it's the larger you grow, it's like, at least in my
the less.
experience, the
Yeah,
harder it is to keep that view to sub ratio. You really gotta, like I said, like you can't just put out anything and expect that you're gonna get everybody to watch it. Like they'll be subscribed to you and they'll be quick to not watch a video if it's not something that they're interested in.
Yeah. What I'll do, Jem, if you don't mind, I'll just quickly jump in the comments before we start with the first question.
Yeah, I see some
Um,
cool people in the chat.
we've got Perry Gaming. Thank you for joining us. Really
My boy.
appreciate it. I don't. To be fair, I've been watching your lives this week, but I don't know how you do it. You just got so many people in the chat, and like, to be fair to you, you literally go through most of them. So
Yeah, I
hats
try.
off.
I would hate to skip it. I know whoever's commenting, if they get skipped enough, they're probably gonna be like, man, screw this guy. I'm not coming to the next live, so he doesn't look at
Yeah.
my comments anyway. You know,
Yeah. No, I just want to give a shout out to Pete from Triple G Comics.
I'm gonna be on there with him too.
In September, he's saying, yeah.
Okay.
Pete
Oh
is
yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Pete's got, well, yeah, I was gonna say he's got a fantastic channel. Please go and check him out if you haven't already. We've got Jason Parker Comics in the house. Really appreciate it. Jason, Deadman, thank you for joining us. My wife, thank you very much. Always appreciated.
The misses.
Mrs. Danny Poor, thank you for joining us. We've got Tyrone in the house, thank you. We've got Manu, the 9.9 newsstand.
Yeah, man.
Really appreciate you joining, Manu.
Man, what they do, they've been covering some great stuff over the last
Yeah,
year, breaking down important scandals and things within our hobby. So they've been doing a great job. I feel like I know them more from Instagram though, but I think they're
yeah.
on both. Yeah.
He doesn't have a YouTube channel, but
Oh,
I
is
think
that what it is? Okay, yeah.
yeah, if he did, I think it would do really well, to be fair.
I thought they did.
The guy that so he did, he like at the forefront of the investigation or the scandal for CGC. It's Dave from West Coast Avengers that he appeared on the channel.
Okay, gotcha.
To him. We've got Mark from Legions of Comics. Thank you very much for
Legion.
joining us. Jem, you look a great weight now. You
I
were too
appreciate
thin
it.
before. There you go. Oh.
Got some meat on me.
Mr. Parker, Jem, your hair got you look like.
He's saying I'm a barista. You can't have a man bun. Very few people can pull it off.
Yeah. Jem is a man of the people. Has
Appreciate
always
it.
been.
Appreciate. I feel like I've lost that reputation over the last few years. I wish I would have realized sooner, to be honest. And I'm glad where we're at right now.
I think I said again, we chatted backstage, but I said primarily my role this evening is to try and humanize the other person on the other side of the camera for these YouTubers. And I can already tell now you're going to be extremely easy for people to resonate with and understand. So
yeah, I think if they've been watching for the last week, there's not much more humanizing that can be
done. It's definitely cool seeing you make the rounds on other streams.
Yeah,
I was struck. Honestly, I was 100%. Evening. Man. Thank you, Rachel, for joining us. James, the channel is growing rapidly. Look what you've become since the pandemic. Thank you very much, Danny. For
James, were you the one that said I could send you some questions and they won't be any gotcha questions?
No.
Oh, that was somebody else. No. And I was like, don't send me the questions beforehand, and they can be gotcha questions. Like, it doesn't matter.
To be fair, I'll try to ask some difficult questions, but if that's
okay.
not,
I'm interested, man. I'm interested to see what you ask.
The first question is, Jem, is really simple. I'm pretty sure everybody knows who you are, who are probably in the chat. If there are people who aren't aware who Jem is, the first simple question is, who is Gem Mint Collectibles?
Gem Mint is just a dude playing another dude. Nah. Gem Mint
disguised as another dude.
Gem Mint is a kid that grew up loving comic book characters. I fell in love with them via the trading cards and wanted to know more about them. So I got into comics. Like most of us, I lost touch with that growing up through middle school and high school. Although the cartoons, the video games, comic book characters, if you grew up in the 90s, it was everywhere at the time. Yep. So it was a great time to be alive. I was a big fan of the action figures. But I got back into collecting as an adult. I ended up sharing my hobby on Instagram. And from there, it started to kind of gain momentum. That's when people started calling me Gem Mint. That wasn't a name I chose. I named the Instagram page Gem Mint. But then people would be like, "Oh, that's a nice book, Gem." Like, Gem? Who? I'm Gem? Like I didn't want to be called. I thought it was like feminine to be honest.
Yeah.
But then I just kind of rolled with it. But I was somebody that I always wanted to collect, and it was always crazy expensive. Like, I'm a high school dropout. I'm working. I had 2 kids very young. So I
Yeah.
never had this extra money just to buy expensive things. So I was always um, hustling to collect, and my
Yeah.
whole big thing was like sell off stuff that you no longer really care about,
Yeah.
and buy the new thing. And that's kind of how I've always operated to this day. I usually will build something up, and then I'll get sick of it, or I'll see a shiny new object, and then this doesn't look so shiny anymore. Some people criticize me for that. It just makes sense to me. Enjoy things for as long as they give you enjoyment, and then I'm ready to move on. But
Yeah.
anyway, I started the YouTube channel, like we mentioned, at the end of 2017, inspired by other channels who kind of all did the things that I wanted to do, but
Yeah.
everybody was kind of like only statues, only omnibus, only comics, and I'm like, damn, I
Yeah.
like all that. I'm gonna kind of do all of it as a variety show,
I
and so
think
that's
that's
what I did.
probably what set you apart, maybe. Like,
Well, somebody mentioned that the other day too. I said like a big secret to how I got popular in the first place was I interacted with each one of those communities on an individual basis. So people would know me from the statue community or the omnibus community
yeah.
or the Instagram key issue community. And
Yeah.
and then somehow that all kind of blended. I think a lot of statue collectors would watch videos and see the omnibus and be like, "Oh, what is that?" And then vice versa, coming through because I showed every Spider-Man omnibus ever, and I might have had a statue in the background. So I think that kind of really helped to my benefit, being a
Yeah.
little bit more versatile and not so honed in on just one aspect.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's me. I kind of put everything into being Gem Mint Collectibles because think about it, I was just Steven before that, just a dude
Yeah.
working, feeding his family. But then I became this online content creator and eventually made it my full-time gig and so forth. And that's where I'm still at to this day.
And like I said, you've got 159,000 subscribers. You've got 1,500 videos on your channel.
And believe me, I probably have deleted about 1,000 of them too.
Not for copyright, was it? Or
No, sometimes I'm a dude that's always in my head about myself, man. Sometimes I'll go back and there's things I don't like, maybe stuff that didn't perform well, maybe content that I don't really do anymore and it doesn't really
yeah.
fit to have it on the channel. There's a bunch of reasons. A partnership that didn't work out that I didn't want to monetize, so I just took everything down.
Yeah.
So there was a good amount of views that I lost because YouTube and Social Blade it recognizes when you do that. If you unlist it or private it or delete it, it shows
And
as
those
negative
views.
views. So I've lost a lot of views because of that, but no big deal.
Yeah, and what I like about your channel as well, Gem, is you have your wife Fee on as well,
Yep.
especially during the live streams, which you've been regularly doing this past week.
Yep.
And there are other like comic YouTubers out there who have their wives on, like Jason Parker Comics. He has his wife on there,
Yep.
and I think that side of it really helps boost, like people can't relate to that. I imagine.
People seem to like that, man. Ever since we were doing that when she first popped on, I think she started to come on like shortly after, maybe 2018 and definitely into 2019. And
Yeah,
man, this whole time she has been on me. Let's bring back the live shows. Let's bring back the live shows. And I didn't want to bring it back because I felt like we had this big dark cloud over our head that I wasn't really ready to talk about.
yeah,
So after I talked about it and I told her I want to do this live morning show, it just she came back in and it made sense and now we're back doing it like how we were with me and her doing the lives.
yeah. No, they're really great.
But
And
according to
also,
AKAPAD, he's doing lives with his wife and nobody wants that.
nobody wants it, but there's hundreds of people watching it.
No, it was just funny. I don't want
And
I don't want to talk
yeah,
numbers like that. But yeah. It's great to have her on, man. She's super supportive. We grew up together as teenagers, man. We've been together since 2001, so 23 years.
it's fantastic to see that she fully supports you and embraces your geekdom.
Oh yeah. Yep. Man, one time when we were younger, I was getting evicted from an apartment. It was an apartment I lived in with a bunch of guys.
Yeah,
And there was no power. So we were just getting my stuff out of there in this dark apartment. and I had binders of trading cards and a short box of comics. And she was like, "Aren't you gonna grab your comics?" And I'm like, "Ah, man, leave that shit." She was like, "Nah, man, we got to grab the comics." So she saved the cards and the comics.
Oh man,
She grew up in the '90s, like I said, she's my age with like 5 stepbrothers and a regular brother. So
yeah,
she grew up around all this stuff just like we did, you know.
amazing. That's awesome. I don't think from memory, you don't do much with cards.
Actually, I have been doing box breaks here and there on the channel,
Yeah.
maybe for about a year now.
Oh, okay.
I love cards. I love '90s cards. It really got me
Yeah.
into the game, but I find it hard to collect modern cards because of the way that they release, and it makes it very difficult to put together a whole set. You know, like how we
Yeah.
used to.
They're all pretty much bought up straight away, aren't they? And it's difficult to obtain.
Yeah, exactly. But I've been getting back into it. I hate the thick cards. I can't even put them in a sleeve. It's like we'll see what this new company does with the Marvel license, and hopefully Upper Deck strays away from that when they do their DC stuff. So I'm keeping an eye on the card game. I'm interested to see these Marvel Magic cards that are coming out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Magic was always too much for me as a kid, but I would love to see what they do with those.
Brilliant. I'll just quickly jump in the chat just to say hello to people who've joined. Jason Parker said, obviously, hit Gem up and give him a sub.
Thank you. But
He's put
if you're not going to watch, don't even sub, because all that's going to do is mess up my view to sub ratio.
We've got
That's my guy, EML.
EML012. Thank you for joining us this evening or afternoon. We've got Debbie Holloway. Thank you for joining us. We've got the Comic Book Gamer. He should be at work, or they should be at work, but they just jump on to say hello.
That's my guy right there. What's going on, bro?
Manu, the 9.9 newsstander, says thank you very much for the kindness.
Yes, sir.
Salacious Rum, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it. From YouTube's most notorious monkey lizard, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Salacious Rum.
Jason Parker doing his ever faithful admin role. He is asking people to hit that like button. Thank you very much. Geeks Rule from Danny, and Danny, I second that. And then we've got Amanda Holloway in the house. Thank you for joining us. So Gem, what from your channel you primarily do statues and you do Omnibus.
Yep.
So if I thought I'd just focus the second question on Omnibus.
Sure.
As someone who, I mean, I don't collect Omnibus because the size of them, I'd have nowhere to collect them.
Okay.
But
I'm seeing a lot of shelf space back there that could easily house some Omnibus.
You could do, but then I wouldn't be able to have anything else.
You got to collect what you love. No, I get it.
Yeah. No, I would love to. But for the people watching who maybe don't know what Omnibus are, then do you want to fill them in? And
I would love to, man.
Recommendations.
If you know what a trade paperback is, it's kind of like that. It's a hardcover book that collects either the entire run from a series, or sometimes they'll collect the entire arc from a creative team. There's different types of versions, but basically it's an oversized book, so the pages are larger than your typical comic book. If you love Spider-Man, you can get Amazing Spider-Man Volume 1. It collects issues 1 through 33 from the original Spider-Man solo series. It'll have Amazing Fantasy 15, and you can kind of collect volumes 1 through 5 like that. Or you can collect an event omnibus, something like the Infinity Gauntlet, which collects the main stories, Thanos quest, every tie-in, and you get every single issue in one hardcover book. They're quite expensive retail, somewhere around $100 to $150. However, when they're in stock online, for whatever reason, this is the only hobby I've ever seen where it's typically like 40% off if you buy it through Amazon or organic price books or in-stock trade. So I wish this was the same with statues, where they're 40% off retail no matter what. But it's a great way to collect, first of all, Golden Age Omnibus. You know how expensive it would be to collect the
Golden Age comics,
the Batman Golden Age Omnibus Volume 1, Detective 27 and onward. And then sometimes new events. Like, I'm trying to think of a most recent event. Maybe Devil's Reign comes to mind. You have Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky, leads into this Devil Reign. So that omnibus gives you the 6-issue series and every single tie-in that came out, and usually every single variant cover in the back of the book as well, which is kind of fun if you want that art but don't want to chase down all those variants.
Yeah. And in terms of you know, like publishers like Marvel, DC, who produces the best quality,
Mm.
like product, basically?
So Marvel definitely pushes out the most omnibus, but
Yeah,
I don't think I would say they had the best quality because they tend to have thinner pages oftentimes.
yeah,
Then you have DC. DC puts out similar in quality, but a lot of times they lack in their formatting. Like they'll have a table of contents, but no page numbers. Like,
yeah.
what's good is the table? Am I counting 1,000 pages? Sometimes they could be 1,500
What's
pages.
what is the point? Yeah,
And then like the other publishers like Image, IDW, Boom, they don't necessarily do omnibus, but sometimes they'll do oversized hardcovers or deluxe editions or even library editions. Um, Sometimes they'll do omnibus. Like we had Dynamite finally told them to do some boys omnibus.
yeah,
I don't think you could go wrong with Marvel or DC, but to say who has the best quality, I would think the best quality hardcover are the DC Absolute editions, which are even
yeah,
taller than Omnis. Hardcover books that come in a hardcover slipcase, and they're not as thick because those will typically cover like an event without the tie-ins. So just
yeah,
Dark Knight's Metal, just the 7 issues in the most prestige both
yeah.
format that you can get.
So the absolute editions, I think maybe a couple of years ago, I was looking at, was it the Alan Moore Swamp Thing?
Beautiful, which there is no omnibus for. I think they have maybe a standard size hardcover box set. It might even be soft cover. But
Yeah,
what's cool about the Alan Moore Swamp Thing and the Len Wein Wrightson, I think it's Wrightson, Bernie
yeah,
Wrightson,
yeah,
they're like flocked. The hardcovers are actually like a little bit fuzzy, like moss. So
yeah,
those are
yeah.
really
It's
cool.
like felt on the
Yeah,
front of it.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's it. And like when I asked you to come on the show for this interview, I asked you for like a thumbnail that I could use with a picture of you, and you sent me this this image, and I was just thinking, how on earth do you get time to read all that?
I don't. I've bought way more than I've read. I've read a lot though, so sometimes people will give me a hard time. They think I don't read anything, but I mean, reality, I've read a lot of them, but there are just so many that I still haven't read. But I'm a collector at heart first, and I'm the type of dude that's like I respect the source material. So even though I like to collect, I like to read it and review them on the channel as well. I probably reviewed like 150 omnis, which I probably have like 600 of them, but so
Yeah,
the
no,
read to own percentage is similar to the subscriber view percentage. But I like it. Some stuff is just cool to have too, man. Like I don't know, just to have the Batman New 52, which I've read in single issues. I've never read
yeah,
the omnibus, but I have it now collected. It's preserved and it can be read at any time.
yeah. The Batman New 52 was an awesome storyline.
Yeah.
Scott Snyder, wasn't it, and Greg Capullo.
A lot of people's jumping on points for comics too, and like around this era, because what is that now? Like
Like
10, 12 years
2012?
old?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's like 2012, that was like
Yeah,
to be
exactly.
fair, that was I think that was probably one of my first reintroduction back into reading
So
comics.
many people, because first of all, it was a great jumping on point, New 52 and all that stuff. So
Yep.
yeah, a lot of people broke their cherry or at least got back into it.
Yeah, yeah. No, fantastic run, absolutely fantastic run.
Yeah.
If I just jump into the comments, if you don't mind again,
No, of course. It's your show, man.
no, sorry, it's okay. I'm just wow, we've had, quite a jump. So we've got, Nigel in the house. Thank you, Nigel, for joining us. And we've got Naj, who was on my show a few weeks ago. Thank you, Naj, for joining us. Um, we've got Luke Martin. Thank you for joining us as well.
Luke with that journey into mystery.
Jason Parker Comics is asking, how on earth does that fit omnibus fit in the slab?
I've seen people ask that before. I don't think they grade omnis.
No. And if they did, oh god, it would weigh a ton.
That case would break in a minute anyway.
Luke Martin has asked, what's the best Wolverine omnibus?
I mean, to me, Wolverine Volume 1 is the best because it contains the Weapon X storyline from Marvel Comics Presents. It contains Incredible Hulk 180 through 182. It contains the 4-issue Frank Miller miniseries. It might even be the first issue of the first 10 issues of the first ongoing. So
Yep.
to me, I think Wolverine Omnibus Volume 1 it's one of my favorite omnis, but also Wolverine by Mark Miller, which contains Old Man Logan, is a great one as well.
Yep.
Um,
I
what
mean,
else? Wolverine.
couple of Deadpool spoilers. That was. I don't know if have you watched it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, did you see Old Man Logan?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Great cameos. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been talking spoilers. I'm gonna wait until Monday.
Oh,
Probably, I don't
sorry.
know.
Yeah,
No, no, I don't know. I know some people. You want to give them 2 weekends. If you haven't seen it in the first 2 weekends, you don't really care about spoilers at this point.
yeah. I don't know if I don't know if whether or not you're aware of Narj on Instagram. She did a the Todd McFarlane oversized art book.
Yeah, of course.
I think in England it's like £120 to buy, but it might be like $150, $160 for yourselves. It's like she made a coffee table. She slides it into like a see-through acrylic coffee table.
Oh, I think I might have seen that actually. Now that you mentioned that.
Yeah, it is. It honestly is amazing, absolutely amazing.
Nice.
Um, Danny Poir has
Oh,
said,
great one.
"Yeah, Age of Apocalypse, great storyline."
Yeah.
Legion of Comics, Mark is saying that DC make the best. I'm guessing.
I could see an argument for that. In the past, DC had a lot of binding issues, a lot of gutter loss, where you lose a lot of art in the crevice there. But like, so DC Sandman Omnibus are probably some of the most well constructed omnis and the absolute of that same storyline.
Yeah.
And so the Preacher and Sandman absolutes are the best constructed comic book hardcovers ever. And then the Sandman omnis are pretty similar in quality to the absolute.
It's great to see that like British comic book writers doing so well over
The British
in the States.
invasion was huge for us over here, man, and it really brought us a lot of great comics, darker tone, unique stories, man. I love the British writers are some of my favorites.
Yeah, 100%. Tyrone has said, never thought about omnibuses, that my money would be gone on Wonder Woman. He's a
There's
massive
a lot
Wonder
of
Woman.
Wonder Woman omnibus out there as well. I have the George Perez stuff. I used to have the man, what is his name? Is it Jason? I can't remember his name. I can't think of it. Armor Willow? I don't know. I know I'm not saying it right. Somebody will say it in the chat.
If you can help us, that would be great.
Yeah.
We've got I have only one omnibus, which is the McFarlane ASM run. Stunning. Love reading it.
A nice thin omnibus that collects his whole run on that.
Yeah. You I seem to remember you didn't you like do like a San Diego Comic Con interview with him was it last year? Was it? Or the year before?
Yeah, it was last year. One of the great things out of my relationship with Whatnot is that was them. Because Todd wanted to work with them and they wanted some of us to promote it. And I got an opportunity to meet, interact. It was more than just what you guys have saw as well. It was 2 days where I got to kind of ask him a couple questions, and we hung out with him one night before. Childhood bucket list, knocked off the list, being able to do that. I mean, that's got to be the biggest artist that I could think of that I would ever want to meet. So I really am appreciative that they made that happen for me.
No, that's well, we'll get into Whatnot in a bit because that's one of the questions.
Those bastards. No, I'm playing. Those damn Whatnot and with all their influencers.
There's one. That Mario in the background. Yeah, I purchased that from
Super cool. Valiant Mario, right?
Yep. It's actually Wednesday's video, so
okay. Keep it on the hush.
That's on the hush hush. Legion of Comics. I think the most folks have more than read. We have just read rest of our lives to read at our own paces.
That was always my justification when buying all the damn omnis. But although I have sold many that I didn't read, where I was like, you know what, I'm probably never going to read this. Let's just get rid of it.
It's like you said, like you're a collector at the forefront, so you collect and then you realize, well, there's no chance I'm going to read this, or I've got to get rid of it.
Exactly.
But do you find that though, that when you collect something or you're chasing something down and you get it and you're like, oh yeah, I've got that, I'll put it on the shelf. Do you find that it's like a dopamine hit?
Oh, of course. First of all, the hunt is everything. With statues and omnibus. The dopamine comes and goes as soon as you press order, you know what I mean? Or maybe when you open it up and take the plastic off and you stretch the spine and you smell the book. very rarely does that lead to going back to reading it.
Yeah.
So no, and I know a lot of even single issue readers will say, "Oh, my backlog is crazy," or "My pile is
Yeah.
piling up," type of stuff. So it's the nature of collectors. You got FOMO. You don't want that book to go out of print, and then instead of 40% off, it's 40% over cover price, which was happening a
Yeah.
lot in the heyday.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. I think with me when I like make a big purchase, I have like severe anxiety. Like
Mm,
I go over in my mind, is this a good deal, or and then
yeah.
when you order it, and then you're waiting for it to come, like to be shipped. Like until I have it in my hands, then that's like, oh, and then okay, I'll just put it to one side now. I don't have to worry about that.
You're checking the tracking every day, and then
Yeah.
sometimes the tracking doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Now you're freaking out, or man, there's been a lot of nightmare scenarios with that too.
No, it's brilliant. We've got. Oh, thank you very much, Naj, for the £2 super chat. I really appreciate that.
We're splitting
Uh,
this all at the end of the show, right?
yeah. Well, funny enough, we were talking backstage, but you had a live this morning where I think somebody donated like $99.
Yeah, man, $100 US. I don't know what that converts to you guys, but that's huge, man. Totally unexpected.
Yeah, it's really
Um,
generous, really generous.
Crazy generous, man. It just kind of shows like people want that. People are looking for this type of stuff we do. They want to interact with like-minded people, like him, he sends £2 because he supports what you're doing, man. So
No, I really
super,
appreciate that, Naj. Thank you very
yeah,
much.
for sure.
Beckerman is in the house. Thank you very much, Beckerman, for joining. He loved George Perez, the gold standard of fan interactions.
With the crazy shirts he used to wear. I think his wife made them, if I recall.
Oh wow.
But great artist, packing as many characters on one page as he could.
We've got Andy from Perpetual Comics, another UK YouTuber. He said, "Hey James, another great guest. Been watching Gem Mint since the early IG days. Much love. Thank you for joining us."
That's old school OG right there. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah. I wish I had buyer's anxiety. Just
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I remember that when I pre-ordered my first Sideshow statue. I don't think I felt that feeling since then. Maybe I should have.
What do you? We'll get into that later on, Nigel. So you're gonna have to stick around for Jem's opinion on Sticky Goose.
Yeah.
But if we move into the next question, Jem, if you don't mind me going into this, but
No.
I wanted to talk about Comic Tom. You recently announced you're leaving his channel.
Yeah.
You regularly did a weekly the hot 10 comics every week.
Yeah.
What led you to that decision, if you don't mind me?
So it's something that it's not something I just came up with. It's not because Sticky Goose made the video, but it kind of is. We'll get to that later. But where do I start? Again, I love Comic Tom, great friend of mine. And we did a successful video series. Hot 10 Comics was a good performing video. I was always proud of it. I thought it was data driven, which I liked.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to find the data. It was Key Collector finds the data. Tom has a great team. He invests in himself. He has editors that edit the video and make the thumbnails. And I always loved the whole package. But I'm in this transitional period, and I just feel like I need to regroup and go back to how I was before the Comic Tom stuff and the whatnot stuff. And I don't want to repeat myself from what I said in my other video, so I'm trying to think of another way to word it. But it was never anything personal about him. When he asked me to do the video with him, I was fresh off of Instagram, where I used to buy and sell key issues. I used to do raffles, which I don't know, if you're an OG Instagram guy, you might remember that. So talking about back issues or key issues was intriguing, but as the years go on, I have no interest in comic book sales. I don't talk about it on my channel. It's not really something that I collect or am personally interested in. So I just felt like it was a good time to break off and just focus on my channel, which has died over the last couple of years because of my behavior and the moves that I decided to make. So I said, you know what, let me just focus on this channel, tell everybody what's been going on and get it off my chest, try something new. And that's what we did. And it feels and seems like it was the right move to make.
Yeah, I've just got to applaud you, to be honest, because I think judging part by like the comic community's reaction to like your recent videos, you have really resonated with like your honesty towards what's been going on, and I
Yeah,
think people have really, really, really like it's gained traction, and
I
you've
see.
you've you've elevated an understanding of what you know.
And I had no idea that was going to happen. I kind of thought I was going to get more "I told you so's," "You're an idiot." I thought I was going to get so much of that, and I was ready for that because I still wanted to move forward and do this thing here. But it had the complete opposite reaction. I would have never guessed how positive sharing that would have been. So
No, I've
super glad I did it.
yeah, no, yeah, no, I bet. What I will say, and you know, I've got nothing against Comic Tom. I think when you two joined forces, it was two of YouTube's biggest content creators at the time, for comic books.
Well, let me
Um,
jump back in with that. So, yeah, I like that I brought something to the table and he brought something to the table. It was very rare that I have seen where that's really happened. A lot of
yeah,
times, somebody might pick up a co-host, and maybe nobody knows the co-host or whatever. But it just seemed like, damn, he's bringing an audience, I'm bringing an audience. Let's do something together. If you were following my channel before that, I was always big on bringing content creators on. Every live stream, I would try to have somebody else from like the statue community or the
yeah,
omnibus community. I was always I figured, high tides raise all, or what's the saying? So I was always big on that. So when he asked me to do that, I was already, I would have done it no matter what size he was or whatever. But the fact that he did already build his own thing, I was like, damn, this might be something really cool, and it was. It
yeah.
was.
And I think that, you know, if when you join forces, I think like you said, he'd already built like his own established channel and stuff like that. But I think maybe you probably focused too much on his content
Yes.
to help him.
Well, to
And it was
to keep it real though, that's 2 hours a week doing what
yeah,
we did. It wasn't really that it took me so much time, but I think, and I kind of mentioned this in my video. I'll give you an example. This is my first time sharing this, so this is kind of an exclusive.
oh
And
yeah,
it's not a blame towards Key Collector whatsoever. Shout out to Nick. I think he's the hardest working man in comics.
yeah,
But when we were doing the Hot 10 around the COVID era and everything was record breaking, I was still kind of old school Gem. I'm just reading the numbers. And I
yeah,
think Nick made a comment like, "Man, you guys should be excited. This is an exciting time in comics." So I found myself, getting excited about it. And I mentioned this in the other video, like kind of matching Tom's energy. I would
yeah,
watch back and he's like, "Tom," and
yeah,
I'm me. And I'm like, "Oh, yo, what up? This is Gem Mint." So I'm like, let me be a little bit more professional. At this time, I'm more comfortable on the mic, so I'm a little bit more articulate and everything. And I kind of became maybe too professional, maybe might have been it, where that was never really me. I was known for being like the guy that was drunk as hell, taking my live stream in the car to Taco Bell with like
yeah.
7 people on stream. Like that was me before that. And I think
Do
I
you think
lost
that?
some of myself. And
Yeah,
I've heard people say this is so damn true. You lost the soul of your channel
yeah,
in this kind of okay, now I'm working with companies. Maybe I shouldn't do these things, or maybe I shouldn't say this because maybe it'll look bad for somebody else. And again,
yeah,
these are all things that are just within my control and just what I felt was the right move at the time. And looking back, it's I shouldn't have done it. I should have just stayed true to myself and just kept it real. I guess I wasn't keeping it real if I look back.
yeah. I think again, I applaud your honesty because it probably did put people off. You
I
say?
think it put my people off.
Yeah,
I think his people, they accepted me. I remember at first a lot of his people not really liking me, and I
yeah.
think a lot of my people don't like him. So maybe it wasn't the best
But
fit, right?
yeah, yeah. No,
But the thing is, I have the utmost respect for him, man. Like this dude, I feel bad when I see so many people talk bad about him, a lot of lies about him. Like I would not hang out with this dude for 4 years if he was really doing this scam where we're pumping books because we have 20 copies of them in the warehouse. Like he
yeah,
makes his money from the mail call. He doesn't need to make up this whole elaborate scheme to sell 100 issues of Dark Hawk 1 or whatever the accusations were. Like he
yeah,
pays employees, he takes care of people, he gets his friends out of the workforce like Ryan to work for him.
yeah.
Like he's a good dude, a savvy businessman. I would call him a shrewd businessman. I see the way that he handles
He
business
operates,
sometimes. I'm
yeah,
like, damn, this isn't the happy time everybody knows, is it? I
No, but
respect his business aspect, and
yeah,
maybe that's why some of my people don't like him, because they don't like the kind of businessy approach. They want the beer drinking guy who drops F bombs and tells
yeah,
you his opinion off the fly, and that's kind of where I said, I'm not him. I can't really try to follow his footprints too much because he is super successful. And so was I, but I lost that
do you,
in that whole scenario.
so would you say that getting involved with Comic Con was probably at the detriment to your own channel?
Getting involved with Comic Tom led to a lot of opportunities. It really kept me relevant in the comic space. It made me more relevant in comic books rather than omnibus and statues. But I think the way I handled it hurt me. So
Mm.
it just happened to be I was working with him. It could have happened if I worked with anybody. So nothing to his fault at all. He
Yeah, yeah,
always wanted nothing but the best for me. Made opportunities for me. But I just think that the way I handled it and tried to adapt hurt me in the long run.
yeah. No,
But look where we're at now. Not that it was unrepairable. I think stepping back and realizing that and course correcting helps.
yeah. No, no, no. Again, I fully applaud your honesty, Jem. Really, really
No,
do.
I mean, it's the truth. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So in terms of like, I was a big fan during the COVID era of the Hot 10. I've got CGC books. I've got a big collection, and to see like your comics, each week being hot comics, you're thinking. I'll be honest, I had a hard on most weeks watching seeing what books. I'm like, I've got 7 out of 10 this week. Next week, I've only got 4. But I think after a while, it kind of became samey.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get to one of my questions further along is about comic book content on YouTube in general, but
Yeah.
I think that as well that put people off because it was okay. Oh, it's the same thing again. But then once we started to hit like a lull, the comic book market is like crashed almost.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as interesting for collectors like myself and others
Yeah.
watching that content.
Of course. No, I mean, believe me, we would see those comments. And then the thing is, and this was also coming from like Key Collector, like it should be important and exciting that it is the same book every week for whatever outside forces are causing Wolverine 1 to continue to sell over and over again every single week. We were trying to make that exciting because that's what everybody's buying. I know it can be boring from like maybe a content perspective, but these are the books that are selling, and that's why I never really felt like there was anything wrong with that video. We're talking about the books that sold last
Yeah, yeah,
week.
yeah.
Yeah, and this same ass book continues to sell. And if you watch the videos over a long term, think about like Uncanny 130. That book was on the list every single week. Taylor Swift hype. People are buying it. We're like, at that point, we were comfortable enough to be like, maybe you should stop buying the first appearance of
Yeah, stop
Dazzler.
Dazzler, yeah.
And as soon as it was kind of worse, he wasn't going to be in the movie. Man, you haven't seen that book since.
I bet I was gonna say it's dropped
But
off the
not like
face
we're
of
over
the
here
earth.
saying you should definitely buy this. It's more like we're reacting to what the collectors are already doing, And to me, that's why I never felt like there was anything wrong with it, even though I've heard criticisms about the channel. It manipulated the market. It hyped up books, and I mean, it didn't matter to us whether or not books sold. We were just reporting on the books that did sell, and then we're trying to kind of like analyze and figure out, okay, what's causing this? Well, there is this movie, there is this signing happening, they got a video game, and that's why people are buying it. And
Yeah.
I like the videos. It was never the content of the videos to me, except for again the fact that it's not something I personally collect or have really
Yeah.
much interested in anymore.
I think it pretty much, especially during the COVID days, it fueled and added like a frenzy of trying to get these books and the
Well,
next.
what the hell were people doing during that era, man?
I know they weren't doing much, but you'd almost watch that video and then you'd go onto eBay or to Facebook or Instagram, and people would be selling those books.
Well, I always kind of felt like if you were in the market to buy that book, this video kind of lets you know what it's going for.
Yeah,
If you're looking to sell it, same thing. So to me, it's like you could have used that video for different things. You could have just had the book in your collection and you're kind of watching it like the stock market. Okay,
yeah,
maybe I should sell it soon. This thing is going up and up every week. maybe I should sell. So I always felt like it had a lot of practical applications in that video. You could have used it for so many different things.
No, I really appreciate it. So we do have a certain
Oh
person
shit.
watching. Two of my favorites. I think he's being genuine there. I'm not. I don't think I don't think he's being
No, I
sarcastic.
believe it. Well, I'm sure we'll get to it.
But we've got yes, everyone's ecstatic that Sticky has arrived into the chat. I think it's really good that you're going back to your roots and doing your own thing, Naj. That's very true. Very true. Full respect to Gem for taking ownership.
Thank you.
Sticky Goose is saying he wouldn't miss this. Really appreciate you coming in, Daniel. Thank you very much. Realizing the issues and fixing them is the best thing.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm glad that we're doing it.
Can I ask a question, Gem?
Of course.
You know, when you did the video for this update on you leaving Comic Tom,
Mhm.
you mentioned in the video that you spoke to him that day. Was that the
Yeah.
day that the same day you basically decided that you were leaving, or is it a thing that you'd spoken to him previously about, or was
Yeah.
it literally?
So yeah, I actually had a conversation with Tom about this before we partnered with Whatnot. I was already kind of feeling that then, and he was like, you know what, we have this thing on Whatnot going. Let's do that. Let's
Yeah,
see how that goes, because that can do. So so I was like, okay, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And at first it was great, man. So it was I was like, I'm sure glad I stayed. Now this time in that video, I kind of made a little bit of a mistake. I texted him, hey, we need to kind of talk about me being on the videos and such, and then he called me, but I initiated the call.
yeah.
So yeah, I told him that day. It was a hard conversation. It's somebody I've been making a video with for every single week for 4 years, except for
4
like
years.
maybe 4 times when I was traveling or what have you. It was tough, man. It was like breaking up with a girlfriend.
And if you don't mind me asking as well, I've not seen anything from Tom in regards to it. Is he done like, so your next video when it comes out, is it going to be like a goodbye
Yeah.
video? Yeah.
It probably will come out today. I think today or tomorrow. We made a video. It's in the thumbnail. You're gonna know that we discussed it in the video. He wished me the best. He understands. He would have loved to have me stay. But let me also make this clear. He does not need me at all. Anybody
Yeah.
else could be doing that show with him, and he'll be fine. I think he also has plans. He just put out a new video, which is a new type of thing he's gonna try to be doing, where he's covering like comic book news and such, and he did it with
Yeah.
Davis Ryder, who is a super cool guy, a friend of mine as well. And he also
Is he like your replacement, or
first of all, nobody can replace
nobody
Gem,
can
man.
replace Gem?
I think he should do the hot 10 with Tom, but I don't know if they've had that discussion or if that's something that he wants to do. I know that they did this video. You should check it out on his channel. They kind of recap San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Davis Ryder has a massive following of his own in a whole different realm. Super creative guy, super cool guy. I think he would be good for the hot 10, but I don't know if that's what they want to do or not.
Yeah. No. And if anybody, I presume everybody who's in the chat may have watched your video on it. I've just got a short clip to play from
Oh
that
man, it's
video.
gonna be
If
hard
that's
for
all
me to
right.
watch. All right, yeah, play it.
It's not. It's nothing bad. It's just you.
No, I
saying.
didn't. I mean, I know, but watch yourself back.
Oh yeah.
The thing with joining with Comic Tom and joining with Whatnot, I feel like that's kind of where things started to change for me. And I don't blame either one of them. I don't blame Whatnot. I don't blame Comic Tom. I really blame myself and for how I acted in those situations. Like I was telling Tom on the phone earlier, I called him and I let him know how I was feeling about this. I kind of felt the need to match Tom's energy on his channel, and I can see where that would come off as inauthentic to you guys who watch me over here. So is inauthentic a word or is it unauthentic?
I think it's
I think I said that wrong.
No, I'm terrible with grammar. So
You're British anyway. You guys say everything fucking different.
No, but again, like your honesty and everything that you've said this evening so far, or this afternoon for yourself, but it's it is really I genuinely from my heart like believe every word that you say.
Oh
Like
yeah,
the
thank you.
honesty is just incredible.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I-
And I'm I wanted to be careful that I didn't say anything on the video that I didn't say to him. But yeah, that's what I said to him on the phone and try to help him understand, where I was feeling. And he gets it. He was super supportive. He wants me to do other stuff with him still. Like, maybe you come back and do this and that. And, who knows? Like I said in that video, maybe I will. But I think, we could still be friends, and I could go down my own way, which it seems to be like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I don't think I felt that way over the last few years.
Well, I've sorry, I've just got to highlight this comment. I
Yep.
heard Sticky Goose is replacing Gem on Comic Hop Tom.
I'm sure he would do a great job. Tom should do it. See, people don't know about Tom, man. He could be a little controversial. I could see him doing that move. And then everyone turns against Sticky. Then Sticky will see how it feels. His audience will turn against him and say, he's sold out.
To be fair, it probably would increase the views.
That's
but as we're on the topic of Whatnot, I thought I would bring up this question as well. So you've just this end of July, you've just ended your contract with Whatnot.
So it ended in at the end of the year last year, and I was not under contract with them, and they offered me something for July, and I was like, man, I better take that. I'm over here. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, obviously, I've been dealing with this for a number of months, if not a year. So then I did a July thing with them, and I don't know if they were going to offer me something for August. I don't know if my numbers were good enough or not, but I just kind of put it out there. Even if they offered me 10 grand a month right now, I'd have to turn it down just out of principle, just out of sticking to what I said. But they wrote back to me and they were like, hey man, we saw your videos. I'm so sorry if we had that effect on you in any way. And I had to, let them know. Again, it's not you guys. It's just my actions during this time. Man, Whatnot has been great. I mean, I can't be mad at Whatnot whatsoever. I think it's a great platform, like to use, like to buy and sell.
Yeah.
But I guess it kind of promoting it kind of made me look like the salesman, which at first I didn't think was a problem because I've always bought and sold. I'm the make it the hobby fund itself guy. I kind of felt like buying and selling was already within my realm, but something about promoting Whatnot and the way that I was doing it came off salesman-y. It didn't give a good vibe, and that's like the main reason why I didn't want to continue doing it.
Yeah. So in terms of working for them, did you feel like you were under pressure to bring people onto the app or having to do live shows to sell? Did you find it comfortable or?
No, I didn't really feel the pressure like that at all. I didn't really know what my numbers were supposed to be.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of lack of communication under the original contract that the person I was working with in July was trying to be a little bit more open with what they're looking for.
Yeah.
I think it was more of not really knowing, hey, am I doing okay? I haven't heard from you guys in a long time, but not really pressure. I think any stress or pressure is self-created, like stuff that was in my own head, but never from them. It was never a difficult call with them. It was always positive. It was always you're doing great type of stuff. It wasn't like it was not a bad experience like in that aspect.
So you're almost like your own worst critic then.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. The funny thing I say about like being a content creator, or even like being like on Whatnot, it's like imagine you're at your job and you get your performance review right with your supervisor, but in this world your performance review is out for everybody to see. Everybody can see if your videos aren't performing or you're not growing or what happens. So it's kind of weird to have everything out in the open like that.
Yeah, I bet. And as somebody who, Whatnot has been around now for a couple of years.
I was one of the early ones in the comic book category too, man.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'm not going to lie. They approached, again, very small channel. They approached me on Instagram asking me if I would be interested in selling. I just replied saying back that I'm not a seller. I'm just literally, I just collect.
And that's what I said too. I'm like, I sell my own things every now and then. So that was my biggest struggle with Whatnot is that like, I'm not a retailer. Like I don't have inventory. So then I had to source inventory. And that's maybe where it kind of became like, I don't want to say fake, but it's like now I'm selling these exclusives because that's what I have access to purchase.
Yeah.
I never was successful at buying collections. I don't know if you've ever done that. I don't know how people find these collections, man.
No, I would never even
I would never know
dream.
what to offer somebody for a collection. Like, I would never know what to do
I
with
think
that.
I think as you said, you'd have to be pretty shrewd to it's a scary thing when you think that somebody has passed away and somebody's inherited their comic collection, and then the next person gets hold of it, and they're like, oh, you can have there's a $20,000 collection, here's $2,000, and that
Yeah. And even and that's one aspect of it. Just even offering somebody a dollar amount on their entire collection, it feels weird for me to try to make an offer. I don't know.
yeah, oh
That's
yes,
just not my thing.
exactly. I'm exactly the same. So when I bought that Super Mario issue number one off Narj, I was like, "How much do you want for it?" And she was like, "What do you want to pay for it?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, no, no. How much do you want for it, please? Because I don't like
Right.
I don't want to go. I'll give you $100 for it or
Right. I mean,
£100."
obviously, you want to pay as close to nothing for it.
Yeah, but I don't want her to be like, or them to go, "No, I want 200." I'm like, "Oh my god, I've completely shot, you know,
Yeah.
sky high," or um, it's yeah, I find it very difficult as well. So in terms of Whatnot again, your association with them, your own audience, that that association affected your channel as well.
Yeah, man. A lot of people turned off from the Whatnot thing, whether it's something that they heard that they didn't like about Whatnot. So now I'm talking about Whatnot. They don't like that. They don't like me acting salesman-y, or there's a lot of different reasons why somebody didn't like them and then didn't want to really rock with me because of that. And then I kind of became one of like the faces of people on there, I would say, right?
Yeah, there's
And
like Whatnot Wednesdays, was there?
Whatnot
Was it?
Wednesday. So that was a Comic Tom idea, which was kind of like, yeah, let's all of us get together and do this, like, whole day
Every
where we
hour, yeah.
rate each other type of thing. I mean, it was supposed to be a positive thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was weird, man. You know what was weird? Like the whole influencer thing. Like the first time I ever heard that was when this whole thing came about. I never considered myself that prior to this. I make videos. Now all of
Yeah.
a sudden I'm a content creator influencer. Like it's like I just make videos. And I
Yeah.
remember like going out to like Comic-Con, and they're like, "Oh, that's the Whatnot Wednesday crew." And it's like, I don't know. It's like it became this weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah. I had this conversation with Daniel Sticky Goose Comics. I think your inception of your channel, reviewing omnibuses and statues, um, without knowing, you become an influencer because people watch your content and go, "Oh, I really want that," regardless that you're not getting any money for raising
Right, right,
awareness from that. You do create, as a content creator, you do create and influence the sales of that stuff. But
right.
I think what people almost don't like is when you're an influencer that then tries to sell.
Yes.
And I think that gets people's backs up. I think because they kind of question your intentions.
Right.
And I think
Now it's like, do you really like this? Or are you just trying to get me to buy it or something? Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
no, totally. I think that's what people probably don't quite grasp or like the idea of.
I can see that.
But 100%. And yeah. So if we just jump in the chat quickly, Jem, if that's all right, just see.
Yeah, of course. No, there's some good ones. There's some good ones in the chat. I'm excited to get to.
Um, well, to be fair, right, okay. So we've got Jason Parker has mentioned C2E2.
Yeah.
Are you happy to talk about?
Oh yeah, of course. I
I
would
know
love
I
to.
know
I
you
mean,
said you pretty
I kind
much.
of felt like making a video about it, but I kind of feel like I don't want to just keep making videos with these Gem Mint. What do you? I don't know what you want to call it. What do they call it on reality
Vlogs,
shows?
vlogs, vlogs.
Huh?
It's like a vlog, isn't it? So it's like a video
Yeah,
log.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I was thinking about making a video of it. I would love to talk about it. It's a perfect opportunity.
I'll be brutally and totally honest with you. I think
Please.
if you did a video on that, it'd do very well.
Mm,
I
okay.
I genuinely think that people talking uh, honestly and openly about their experiences, especially in this realm, this hobby that we're in, I think they will really grasp to it.
Hmm.
But I mean, I don't want to take away your wonderful content that you could potentially put out.
No, that's fine. I mean, I don't know. If it felt right, I kind of would do it. I don't know. I don't want to feel like I'm milking it now. You know what I'm saying? Like I want my next video to also, I have a statue coming. I would love to do a statue review and show like, I'm still doing the stuff I did. I don't want all this to be like these big admission videos or what have you. But no, I could talk about it. I mean, is there a place that you want me to start, or like, I don't know. What do you think
I mean,
about it?
to be honest, in my notes, I did mention it, but I always thought it might be like a touchy.
No, not at all.
Like I didn't want to come across as like a, I've got you on the,
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I guess I could start by saying, man, that video that I made was a big pivotal point on my channel.
Yeah.
And I was used to making videos from the heart. People got where I was coming from. I've had videos do viral numbers making like that, just kind of, being, explaining a situation or describing something.
Yeah.
And the thing with that, first of all, that was such a crazy situation because not only was there controversy about people buying the book had a bunch of controversy surrounding it as well.
I just got to say, it's probably like, the biggest like thing that happened in the community for ages, and it really did like blow up.
So let me talk about this aspect of it first. So C2E2, I go there. I'm working with Whatnot. Here's the thing about working with Whatnot that I would like to say. I never needed to buy comics and make money on comics. I was already getting paid monthly to just be on the app. So really, I'm out here looking for stuff so that I can do shows.
Yeah.
If I made money on it, cool. If I didn't want to lose money on it, that would be stupid. But if I broke even, who gives a shit? I'm getting paid either way. I'm just getting paid to promote this, and then I'm on there so that, so whatever. So it didn't really matter to me. I didn't need to buy a $40 book and make $100 on it. Like that didn't really matter.
Yeah.
And when we went to C2E2 early, what's funny is I wish I would have made this video when it was going down, because I have a vlog that I put out the day, I think after or before that video, and I literally have timestamps in it. So I have a timestamp. I'm in line with Fee, and we're waiting to buy the books from Black Flag. They had, I think, maybe 3 different books, and I was like, I don't think anyone's going to buy that shit. I don't even remember what it was. So I was like, all right, we're going to get 5 of the Clayton Crane, because I knew who Clayton Crane was. I knew it was a
very popular artist.
Fallout 4 homage. I didn't even know it was acetate. I didn't even obviously know that it was already a variant that he just stapled the shit himself. Or I don't even know how that happened. If he did it one by one, or if he sent them to a factory to do it. Has that ever come out?
I don't know. I genuinely
don't know either. So, and then there was another, I don't even remember the other book. So I was going to buy 5 copies of each, because them shits are expensive anyway. What were they, like $40 retail or something?
To be fair, I had heard that you and Comic Tom had just stapled them to themselves.
So about Comic Tom. So what's funny is Comic Tom wasn't in line with us because he was in the hotel room getting ready to film his Trending 10 video. So he's texting me like, yo, I'm ready. And I'm like, fuck, man, I'm waiting online here to get these books for this Whatnot show later. And the thing about the Whatnot shows at the convention, it's like you wanted to have the dope shit because then your show would be fun. If you had all the dope exclusives, again, as long as I broke even, I'm cool, and we do all these giveaways. So it's like, I think the show's got a really bad rap because, bro, I gave away so many things on my Whatnot shows in 2 years. I gave away multiple statues, Omnibus, exclusives. I used to buy key issues and do giveaways for them. Like, I gave away a ton. And I got to be honest, as a seller on Whatnot, I mean, you get the least amount of money than on any other app. If you were to sell on, most people buy from Whatnot to sell on eBay. So again, I didn't really understand the hate there, because it's not like we're getting top dollar. Sometimes exclusives did go crazy though. So anyway, I leave my wife in the line. I'm like, Fee, can you wait in line? Get 5 of these, 5 of these. And I forgot this in this video recap that I did. When I put that video out, and then Nigel's mentioning in there, when I put that video out, my wife was like, why are you saying that you were online? You left the line. And I stayed in the line to buy the comics. And I'm like, oh my God, you're right. I forgot. And again, even in the vlog I have up right now to this day, you can see me in the hotel with Tom. Fee comes in. I'm like, oh, Fee, what'd you get for us? You were in line. Da, da, da. She had an action figure. She had the books and all that. So Tom, he gets roped into that shit all the fucking time. he didn't even own a copy of that Ultimate Fallout 4. Never owned one copy of it. Was not in line with us or any of that shit. So that just shows you how he just gets roped in because I don't know, whatever.
I know.
So when I auctioned the acetate, so I had my show later. I don't know nothing about it. At this point, it's still not controversial. I auctioned one. I think it goes for stupid low. I think it might have went for a retail. Then I auctioned the second one, and I think to myself, let me take it out of the bag so I could show it off. Maybe, maybe we'll at least break even.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, it's got an acetate cover. Look at that. And right then and there, it started to shoot up. People bid like $145, $150. I had 5 copies. Again, the first one went for like retail. The second one did good. I did the other 3, and that was it. I was on to the next thing. I had no idea about this stapling it on, "In God We Trust," or whatever the hell bullshit they wrote on it. The flag folded. Like, it was just, what a nightmare, man. And I'm new to the game. I'm not a seller. I don't deal with exclusives much, so I don't even know what the fuck is going on. But I do know that I'm out there buying stuff, selling it on Whatnot, packing shit up there, doing all this work, and I'm seeing people that I know doing the same thing, people that are retailers. Somebody mentioned Nerdy Girl. She's a retailer, works very hard. Skeff is there. He's the nicest fucking guy. And people are shitting on them on the internet. And I'm like, nah, man, fuck that. These people are just out here like hustling, like making it, like, not in a bad way, but making a living. So I made the video, and people fucking did not agree. They did not agree. And I wasn't used to that, man. I was used to making these heartfelt videos that people agreed with, or that that resonated with, and they fucking did not. And Keep It Thorough fucking tore me up on that, bro. And I really held a lot of resentment for him for a long time for that, because I knew him and he knew me. Like, I would show up in his chat to show love. And for a long time, I'm like, man, fuck this guy, man. But you know what? Now I could look back and say, man, he checked me. Like, Sticky checked me. And I guess, looking back, I could say he did the right thing. And I was mad at him just because he was coming at me. But really, a lot of the things that they were saying made sense and were right. So, yeah, you probably shouldn't buy 75 copies of a book when you're in line, or skipping the line. Now, the thing with Nerdy Girl, I don't know what happened. Again, I wasn't there. I did leave the line to leave my wife. But the thing about Nerdy Girl is that she's not a Whatnot seller influencer. She is a comic book retailer that sets up at conventions. It makes sense to me that she would have relationships with other vendors. And I don't know I don't want to even speak on it. The reason why I took that video down, to clear the air on that right now, because I have no problem with leaving it up and getting ate up in the comments. The reason why I took that video down is because before I put it up, I told Danielle, hey, I'm going to make this video defending you guys because a lot of people are talking and this and that. And I purposely didn't tell Skeff, because in my heart, I knew he would say, please don't make that video. Please don't draw more attention to it. So when I put it out and it started getting a lot of traction, I reached out to him like, hey, Skeff, man, you know what? I feel really bad. I really should have reached out to you before putting your name in this video. I thought I was doing something to help you.
Yeah, you thought you helped your friends.
Because if we're friends. I mean, we're local. I mean, I didn't grow up with him, but we do. He's been over here. Like, we're close. In that vlog, he's the one that handed me the tickets, the badge to get into. Do you have that vlog pulled up? Could we pull it up?
Which one? Sorry.
Pull up my C2E2 vlog. We only have to watch the first couple minutes.
Well,
I told Skeff, and he doesn't know I'm saying this now, but I said, hey, Skeff, if this causes you a lot of backlash, I'll take the video down. Maybe a few hours later, he's like, Gem, it's causing me a lot of backlash. And, knowing Skeff, I don't know what the situation was, who they bought copies for. I'm quite sure that he didn't spend his own money to do that. It was probably a pooled kind of thing. But I knew I was wrong in putting it out without telling him first. And then when it was drawing negative attention to him, I said, you know what? I've always been the dude that was like, it's more than the views. Fuck the 20,000 views it had. That's no big deal. So I deleted the video. I hate that it seems like I deleted it because I was scared of the backlash. But I deleted it because of that reason.
Is it the C2E2 Day 1 vlog?
Yes.
Yeah.
Funny enough, there was no day 2 vlog.
This video is brought to you by. Let me just
Yeah, well, and just while you're doing that, Tyrone Pouch. Yeah, there was that, and then there was all the other issues with CGC already having Gem Mint 10s and 9.9s of it. It was like the friggin' triple disaster book that could happen. And again, it's one of those things where maybe it wouldn't have even been that bad had I not done something and took action upon myself. That's really what. Yo, you know what's funny? I remember walking with somebody at the con and saying, "Damn, man, Skeff's really in hot water," before I made the video. And then I fucked around and got myself in hot water when I didn't even have to say shit. So it was kind of like, man, one of those things, like the similar situation I'm in now, working with Tom, working with Whatnot. It's the way that I handled the situation that was bad. So I take accountability 100% for myself.
Yeah, I'll just bring the video up now. It's just playing.
Yeah, I heard you had it. Yeah, pull it up. Let's look at it together because I haven't seen this in a while. I knew it's always been there. And it has the timestamps, which is interesting. Maybe you could double speed it too and we can get to it or something.
To you by Ninja Funk. Help save the
can you see that okay?
By telling your local
you need to scroll up, I think.
Publishing's first original.
All right, skip this. And big shout out to JPG. You know, I mean, he's been sponsoring me ever since he was just doing that Spider-Man booth stuff. I know my audience doesn't like. All right. Ooh, that boy was handsome back then, boy. What? 7:15 a.m. Okay.
Being in Chicago, and I got a busy day. I'm gonna run into a bunch of people. So I figured I'll do this thing vlog style, take you all with me. Fee's in the shower. I'm about to jump in there. But yo, take a look at the view at this room. And the view is pretty dope.
This was my first time in Chicago.
Yeah.
Fee's in the chat. What's up, babe?
McCormick place. So
Fee has been wanting me to make this video forever because she was the one that was in the line. There were so many things that people didn't know that she was firsthand.
My 19th letter. Day 1, C2E2. The name of the game today. To get some inventory, man. Like I said, it's a busy day. I got 2 Whatnot streams. But before that, got to record with Tom at his hotel room for his trending video. So we're trying to grab some exclusives, got some books, waiting on my man Davis Ryder. And we'll check back in with you. Giving my man Davis Ryder the most followed comic book seller on Whatnot, man. What's going on? Chilling, man. You ready to look in here? Yeah, I got like something.
So yeah, see, Skeff lost weight since then, man. I gained it.
I mean, yes, I do.
Yeah, see, he. So Whatnot had given him the badges to bring out to me.
Sorry, but I can't hear you. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, I was saying. So he was in there with Whatnot, and Whatnot had badges for me. So I think we drove there, babe. We drove there on our own, paid for our own hotel. But Whatnot did have badges for people that were doing streams with them. So I was like, yo, Skeff, can you grab? Because you can't get a hold of these Whatnot people, man. These guys, first of all, they're super busy running a crazy booth. So Skeff, yo, run and get the badge. He met me out front. I wanted to show him love in the vlog. This is kind of my way of like showing people love. Yo, this is my man Davis Ryder. This is Skeff. Like I've always tried to big people up. So anyway, I think the next one might be. I don't think we have footage from in the con. I don't know. I haven't seen this in a long time.
Do you want me to play it? Carry on playing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear the sound okay from the video?
I can. Yeah, it's low enough to where it's not too loud.
Yeah, that's all.
Get up in here, check out C2E2. All right, here we go. Walking up into the convention center. Man, this place is huge. What up, B?
Oh, babe.
All right, yo. Back from the con.
Okay, look. Watch. Stop. Pause at the timestamp. 10 a.m.
Sweet. We're about to film the trending 10 video. Fee did a great job.
All right, pause it.
For some books.
So at this point, I'm in line with Fee. He texts me. He wants to record at 10. I come up there. We're getting ready to record. We end up, I forget the timeline. Bottom line is we don't even start recording. Fee's already back from getting the book. So in that box are 5 acetate covers. It just kind of shows that I was in the hotel with Tom while she bought them. And that's how I missed the whole whatever happened while she was in line.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. I don't know how much more you want to watch on this. I don't know if anything else is pertinent to it.
That's right. We can move on. But yeah, I think well, for me again, as somebody who's watched Whatnot streams, I think some stuff does go over market value because it's addictive. Like in terms of you see people bidding and you're thinking if you just looked on other outlets, you could probably get it for a bit more cheaper.
It almost seems like the stuff that shouldn't go for a lot goes for more, and the stuff that should go for more goes for less.
I think I totally 100% agree with you. You see some books and you think, oh my gosh, they've gone for like really expensive books. They've not really gone for a lot. But then you see like the lower end stuff and they've gone for, 2 times, 3 times the value.
Yeah. I think the buyer pool on Whatnot is more people that collect modern stuff is what it is. So collectors that like
100%.
keys and such, you get killed on keys, man. I don't know if anyone in the boy band hair. Shut up, DJ Links. Wish you had this hair. Fucking DJ Links has sold on Whatnot. I want to see if he's still in the chat. What's his experience? Do the books go for more or less? See, here's the thing. You go on Whatnot, you're not really getting a big pool of people that are just on Whatnot. It's really your own audience that comes on there that follows you. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I don't think my audience was big into to modern comics whatsoever. They're mostly omnibus guys, and in the omnibus world, you're trying to get them books as cheap as possible. Ain't nobody trying to bid them shits up, and you're not buying statues on Whatnot. I did sell a couple. Some of them auctioned for market value. One time I auctioned this Carnage premium format. It was like a $600 piece. It went for $300. My stomach hit the floor,
bet it turned inside out. Oh, cross.
Yeah, I was like, oh, fuck, man.
But just a funny comment here from Perpetual Comics.
But just to end this, I mean, we could talk about it more if you have more comments about C2E2. But people don't like the whole. It had a greed aspect to it. Yeah, man, just buy 50 copies and flip them and like it's not a good look.
Yeah.
And I get that, and I think the way I came about it was wrong, and I feel bad that people who looked up to me or liked me got a bad taste off of that, and it's not something that I do. I've never purchased 50 to 75 copies of a book like that to sell it. So
DJ Links has said that he's took so many losses on Whatnot.
I promise you, as somebody who has sold over 10,000 items on Whatnot, I think I always got the least amount you could get for it.
Cole Collects, I know he sells on Whatnot, and he says it's tough. You pretty much what you start the price at, really.
Yeah, so that's why I never really got the whole we're scamming people on Whatnot. I get the addictive point of it, but I've more often sold books for less, way much more than they sold for more. So that's why I never really got that.
Perpetual Comics is saying the same. It's where fair market value goes to die.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Most baited advertisement on Whatnot is $1 start.
And I always started at $1 too. I always kind of just felt like it's gonna go for what it's supposed to.
What it's worth. Yeah.
That's how I always looked at it. And I also had at least a decent number of people in there. So I always felt like, hey, at least it should go for that. But yeah, many times I've sold a book for $1 or didn't even sell at all. So I mean, it's not always this big cash grab that some people try to make it out to be.
Yeah. Talking about influencers and unintentionally selling stuff. Perpetual Comics has said that I have sold many hair products in my time.
I can see why you'd be a good influencer for that.
I think I have. I've been nominated for the CBCA awards for my hair.
I think I do recall you saying that now.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I'm happy. Thank you for honestly, Gem. Thank you very much for being so open and honest to that.
And then here's the other thing. I kind of felt like maybe I shouldn't talk about this because I'm working with Whatnot. It's kind of like one of those things that I was thinking I had to be this professional-minded person when it's like it really wasn't even that bad. I mean, this story, I wish I would have told it then. With Fee, she would have loved to set the record straight on this shit. I don't know why I didn't. To be honest, I bet
she was chomping at the bit to try and get it out there.
Yes, literally. She'll probably comment now, man. She was chomping at the bit. Yeah.
And I suppose, like you said, you had a contract with themselves. You wanted to be professional.
Yeah. Right.
And in terms of your contract, then, so did you have to do so many live streams a week? Or
yeah, but it was already what I was doing. It was like one a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They kind of were like, what are you comfortable with? They're very realistic too. There's a great team of people that work on there. I know that sometimes the face of the department, I know some gets heat as well. But then also, Whatnot has categories, and every category has a different team. Like there's the comics part is one of the smallest aspects of Whatnot. I mean, they really do big in like cards and Funkos and things of that nature. But
yeah, they're big on comics are probably like the smallest part. Like trading cards, it
yeah,
is insane.
I've seen there's some pack break. They have like thousands of people in there buying.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't think I ever got close to 1,000 people at all. Maybe hell no, not even close.
Nah just said about you're not a seller on Whatnot anymore. What I understand you what are you going to be doing in the next step for you? But that literally is the last question. So
all right, cool. Yeah, we'll get to it.
That's all right. Cole Collect says that his mystery boxes do well. He puts keys and slabs in them. So fair
Yeah,
play.
mystery boxes also still do well on Whatnot with other sellers. I never tried them. I never really, I don't know. I didn't want to do it where like the big book gets bought first and now you're stuck with a bunch of other things that nobody wants. So I never had the balls to do it.
Jason Parker Comics has hit the nail on the head. When I've watched Whatnot live streams and you see books go for real low, it's always the same people buying them up, and it's like other Whatnot sellers are buying them up and then just reselling. It's like a vicious circle.
Well, I know for a fact that there's a buyer who's a good friend of mine who sells on eBay. He buys all my shit up for dirt cheap and sells it on eBay. But it takes a lot of time to take pictures and list books and put them on eBay. Then they just sit there. I've tried to do it.
Yeah, but then when
Whatnot, it's like, you know what? At least they'll all
on stream.
sell.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you just show the picture. You just show the book on the camera. You could just put comic 1 through 100. You don't have to do too much work.
Yeah,
because I got other shit I got to do. Then that's not my full-time gig, you know, to list books online.
Yeah, it's a great innovation. To be fair,
we were doing YouTube streams prior to this. Very Gary had the biggest YouTube comic stream ever. You know, that's how he got involved with this too. I pitched Gary to them like, yo, I'm down, but you got to get Very Gary. Now, I don't know if he was already on their radar. I don't want to take credit for it, but man, on there, you had to put your timer there. You had to reset the timer just in case anybody sniped. You had to get them to email you if they won something. A lot of people wouldn't. You had to get them to pay you off. I mean, this thing combined everything into one. It's I guess, almost too efficient if you want to say it to your like addictive kind of nature of it. It's so damn efficient. They really streamlined what we were doing with auctions on YouTube.
Dan, thank you very much for joining us. He says he loves this.
Thank you.
But what I'll do is, because we're at 1 hour 23. Are you okay for time, Jim?
Yeah, I got something later, but it's not until 9. I don't have any. I'm not doing anything else. I honestly, I knew these would lead to me being able to talk about things that maybe I couldn't find a way to express them. So I'm having a good time. I'm glad I'm able to tell my side of a lot of these things.
No, what I've got to say is, I don't know, you know, when I've done these things with people, it's almost like a therapy session.
A little bit,
you're getting stuff off your chest, and
a little bit. Well, and you caught me at the perfect time, to be honest.
No, and again, that's, you know, like I said at the beginning of this interview, I said that I couldn't quite believe that you said yes, because I thought like this is like a perfect time to have you on. Well, 100%. But if I move on to the next question,
Sure.
Do you think that comic book content is stagnating on YouTube?
I don't think so. I know it is. Should we pull up channels? Nah, I was gonna do that. No. Every single comic book channel is down, except for maybe first of all, Comic Tom.
Oh, maybe two. Yeah.
But I think Comics Explained is really the only one still thriving. And Variant's doing good as well. But I think Rob is such a fucking force, you know, and he doesn't really get mentioned a lot in our communities. But you're talking about a guy with a wealth of knowledge, a seductive radio voice, likable guy, and great content, informative, right when it needs to come out. And that's why he's still successful. Comic Tropes is successful too. That's another one. But he seems to kind of just do it whenever he feels like it. He'll drop a video maybe once a week, maybe once a month or what have you.
Yeah.
But for us guys, like, you know, I still put myself, you know, we're all in the same category. Those guys are kind of the big dogs, you know, and we're all, you know, the smaller guys trying to make daily content and you know, things of that nature. But views are down everywhere. And it just goes to show you, man, like, it doesn't matter your subscriber count. You have to put out content that people find interesting.
Yeah.
And who gives a fuck about Uncanny X-Men 130 is the hottest
130.
comic book in the world right now. Like nobody cares.
Yeah.
And it's actually refreshing to see that people did care about my personal situation. Like they might not give a fuck about this certain statue, but damn, what's Gem
Yeah.
talking about? I've been watching him for a long time, and then resonating with it, and then where it's kind of snowballed into.
And this is, this question is open-ended. So the reason why I've asked this question is because most recently, your last 3 or 4 videos are a change up from your usual reviews. And it's kind of like people really enjoy a bit of drama.
Yeah.
And you picked up on that. And the reason I'll probably saying that is because Sticky Goose Comics is very much at the center at the moment of drama. And
well, I think he really proved that. He is the proof in the pudding. You can say that,
yeah.
but he's proved it.
Yeah, 100%. I've got a small little clip of you did it. A few days ago, you did a video of your reaction to Sticky Goose's like roast video.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to play that for the audience, if that's all right. Play that right now.
But normally I don't make videos like this. I always kind of felt like when you have creators taking shots at you, they're really just trying to use your name and your picture in the thumbnail to get clout. So unfortunate as it is, when you have these people taking shots at you, I've always kind of just stayed quiet and ignored it. But like many of this person's followers have mentioned, this dude's getting more views than me. So all bets are off. This is my response to the whole Sticky Goose situation.
Yeah. So in terms of that, I mean, if you just look at your channel recently, your view count for your last 4 videos, and even for that video, is like what, 5-6 times maybe?
Yeah, probably, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. No disrespect, because
Bro, I am the most self-aware person you're gonna come across on this shit. I know every day where my shit was looking, and yes, a complete night and day difference.
Yeah. And I think that you've recognized that, and your last few videos have really counted in terms of gaining traction attraction and attraction to the audience.
Yeah, because I think at the end of the day, they're not really negative videos. They're addressing drama and stuff, but I think they're kind of positive a little bit. I mean, the last one I did was I took a couple shots at this guy, but I just think it's it's a little bit of promoting them as well, which is what I was trying to avoid, like I mentioned in that video. It's kind of like, okay, this guy's taking shots at me. He's looking for a clout. All right, let's give it to him. Let me debunk some of the things he's saying. I agree with some of the things you're saying, but you're wrong in so many aspects, and I'll explain to you why. And then, hey, check him out. You know what I mean? So that was kind of my take on the last one. But the Sticky one, I don't know when you want to talk about him. I think you had a whole.
This is the perfect place.
So,
I didn't want to have like a in terms of an actual category just about talking about.
Let me talk about Sticky Goose. When I first heard of him with the whole comic book shop thing, I thought he was the most obnoxious fucking thing I've ever seen. Couldn't stand him. Didn't think anything of it. I've seen him make a video. I guess I haven't really heard much of him until, I feel like I saw him here and there, and it was more of the same.
Yeah.
Like, this guy is telling us this situation, but he's wrong. Like, you don't look good. You look like you look like the bad guy in this story. Yeah. And I just thought he was just like some kind of asshole. I mean, which is kind of true. But then he made a video about me, and I'm looking at this guy's background. I'm like, how could you hate on me, bro? Like, your shit, you like all the same shit I like. You probably have watched one of my videos because it looks eerily similar to a setup that I had before this.
Yeah.
So I left him a comment.
I think he probably would admit to that, maybe.
Well, now, and I'll get to that. So I left a comment, and at this time, I don't really have favor with a lot of the community online. So I have some people supporting me, a lot of people not supporting me. And I'm like, this is why I don't fucking do this, Then he makes a video. He makes a couple videos, top type of YouTubers. I think there was another video about me and Comic Tom. I might not have even watched it. Sometimes I'm just so sick of it.
Yeah.
And I was still at that point where like this shit bothered me. But then he made a video of his top 5 YouTubers, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy was really a fan of mine. And he was, and then he dropped off. And everything that he was saying for the reasons why he dropped off, I already feel that. I already know that, you know, and I guess at the time I don't really know what to do about it. I'm kind of just accepting my fate that, hey, this might just be over with, you know?
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like, I go get a job. I have my loving wife. I have 2 awesome fucking daughters. It's okay. I don't have to be Gem Mint Collectibles. And then at this point, I think at this point, I just feel a little like sad, like, fuck, man. I fucking fell off, man. Nobody wants to fall off. But the fact that he was a fan made me feel a little bit better. I was like, okay, you know what? This guy was a fan of mine. Maybe I won't be too mad at him. So that's why I checked out the video with the roast. Now, I didn't even realize it was a super long video. I literally just scrolled through, like, what do you say about Reggie? What do you say about Tom? Tom's a creep. He's kind of creepy. What do you say about me? And when I saw him and his wife, I was so disappointed in myself, man. Like, damn, man, these people were fucking fans of mine. And now I turned them away because of this shit. And it was a real eye-opener. And I think it was the final straw for me to say, you know what? Even though Whatnot gave you this deal for July, they might re-up in August. Man, fuck that. My people aren't rocking with it. Comic Tom, I love him as a friend, but it's not the best for me right now to continue to work with you. I need to really get back to what I want to do. I've had this morning show idea because for the last 2 years, I haven't been putting out daily content.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, you don't have a job. You could literally go live every single day, just live stream. Like I've had this thought. So like in a way, man, and this might get clipped, but I think Sticky Goose really saved my channel, man. For real. I think it was an eye-opener to see people that once rocked with you show their disappointment in the direction that you've gone. And it was like the final wake-up call for me. And I was able to really laugh at it. Like, damn, you know what? When they're right, man. I shouldn't get upset if somebody is criticizing me. I should take that as constructive criticism and do something. You can still do something about it.
Yeah.
So I'm super appreciative. I know that some people, maybe they got made fun of in a harsher way. Maybe it was inappropriate. I didn't hear everything, and I can understand why they would be upset with that still. And yes, I'm biased. He didn't really say that bad things about me, so that's why I don't have that same anger. And I'm sorry for those people that, you know, they feel that way. But I look at him as like, he is the fucking proof that people would rather watch drama than watch comic book content. He puts out a regular comic book video. It doesn't perform nearly as well. Same with me. I feel like the next video I do has got to be choosy because I don't want no 1,100 view video to come out. But I do have like a sideshow statue coming in, and I'm like, fuck that. I'm gonna do it how old Gem Mint would have did it. Fuck all this fancy production. Like people don't want. Why am I doing
just
that?
Want to see you ripping the box open.
I'm just gonna do it all on camera, whatever. You know, like I don't know why am I being more professional than I need to be. People don't like that. You know, like so. Fucking. I'm really appreciative that he made those videos. Yeah, because it really made me decide to make a change. Like again, I knew all these things, but it was really that last driving force that made me want to finally enact this thing that I've been thinking about for so long.
Yeah. Did you so in terms of after watching that video and coming to that realization, when you had that conversation with Comic Tom, you didn't say it's because I watched Sticky Goose's
video.
No.
And it's not that I don't want to make it seem like that. It's not like I didn't want to work with Comic Tom because of Sticky Goose, but because of Sticky Goose, I wanted to become the Gem Mint that I was.
Yeah.
When everybody was rocking with me, that's what it made me do. I mean, again, it's nothing. It's not that Tom did anything. It's just the way that I acted when I was working with Tom, trying to be professional or trying to match his energy or whatever. Like it's not really him. It's just the way that I handle it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to see any quotes that Sticky Goose made me quit Comic Tom's channel, or I'll make a fucking reaction video on that.
That would be amazing. But so clearly you've had like an epiphany in terms of.
Again, I was content with letting the channel die, but then I was like, you know what? Fuck that. Let me just let everybody know what's going on. take all the arrows that come with it and do this morning show and try something else.
Yeah.
That's kind of the epiphany.
I mean, again, I interviewed Daniel for Sticky Goose Comics a few months ago, and one of the questions I asked him was, has he ever regretted uploading a video? And his answer was very honest, and it was about, even though it's his most successful video, it was about getting kicked out of those comic shops all those while ago. And he was very honest. He said prior to the show commencing, he messaged me a few days before. He said, I just want to make you aware, by having me on your channel, you may get some negativity from people. So he is, he's acutely aware of what, his.
I can see that from him. I look at him totally different now. I could see that with the glimpses of the real Daniel. That's his name, right?
Yeah, Daniel.
He's been showing glimpses of his real self lately, and I'm like, oh, he's a good guy. He's just kind of doing a little bit of satire. He's poking fun at creators that he was or could be still fans of, and he's kind of playing this character. But I could tell that he was once a fan of all this stuff. So I've been seeing the real Sticky through the Sticky Goose persona.
Through Sticky Goose's glasses.
Through Sticky's glasses.
So like yourself, I literally, I'm ashamed to admit this, but I watched myself my roast, as it had it, and I fast forwarded to people that I recognized. I only saw the person after me who, they said something about him looking like somebody who, I don't even want to say it because
I know what you're saying. A diddler.
Oh, what? No, not that. No.
Oh, okay. Because I heard that too, and I was like, damn, I didn't see that, and I can see why somebody would be highly upset with that.
But it's a horrible thing for someone to feel that they're being bullied, because I don't agree with that stuff. But in terms of his channel, he is very satirical. Like, it is all about satire, being sarcastic.
Right.
And for me, I mentioned this previously on my interview with him. I kind of get his humor because, being British, we are all about sarcasm. We're all about satire. We have, I mentioned this prior to the when we were backstage, but in the workplace, we have this thing called banter, and especially amongst good friends as well. But in the workplace, where you're professional with people,
right?
We take we call it taking the piss, taking the ripping into each other.
Yeah, of course.
And it gets personal. It can get, and you get the wrong person come in.
You go, then you're in HR.
You find yourself without a job, and but it's very, it's one of those things of 2024 that you just got to be acutely aware of. And I don't want to, upset or annoy people, or bring that. I don't want anything to happen to this channel, if you know what I mean.
I understand.
But yeah, I think he's pretty much changing the game in terms of, because people who don't like his content watch it. People who like his content watch it. So
I'm interested to see what his thumbs up to thumbs down ratios look like.
He I'm pretty sure he mentioned when I interviewed him, he goes, "You won't believe how many subscribers I lose."
Oh, you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, his channel is still organically growing.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, it's
he's making content people want to see. People are tired. People are hurting right now. People don't got money to buy collectibles and comics. So his kind of content is entertaining, and people want to watch it, so they do. And then it's funny, so they like it. And then they leave a comment, and then YouTube recommends it to more that watch similar material.
Exactly.
That's how it spreads.
What people don't realize is, by leaving comments, you're helping the algorithm.
The more you watch it, the more it helps. And engagement, positive or negative, helps the video spread.
And I'm going to coin or copyright this phrase, but what's more entertaining than a Sticky Goose video?
Is that the whole thing, or are you asking me a
No,
question?
no, it's the comment section.
Okay, yeah. Oh, the
Reading the
comment
comments.
section. Yeah.
Because it's so divided. It's crazy. It's
Well,
like,
he's got his own little army though, man.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
and I
yourself
like that.
with the Geminites. It's like,
He's got, and then when you mention organic growth, it reminds me a lot about me when I first started, man. I guess that's
yeah.
also the thing, you know.
I just quickly jump into the chat while we're still talking about Sticky, but
Yeah.
Cole Collector says MJ Comics, the mild-mannered comic therapist. So that the reason why I'm being called mild-mannered is because that's what Sticky said in his roast to me. I mean,
Oh, okay.
like yourself, like
Yeah.
I was really not offended by it. It was pretty much
That's not really a hard dig, right?
no. It was pretty much you're British. He's mild mannered. You can barely hear him when he speaks. It's like I genuinely don't have a problem with that. But when you looked at the comments, people were like showing a disdain towards him for criticizing the British, and I even had people messaging me saying, "Oh man, I saw Sticky's video. I can't believe he said that about you." And I'm like,
I kind of thought it was a normal thing for Americans to dig into the British.
yeah, it really doesn't. It honestly, it doesn't offend me, but I can see why other people would potentially get offended. The Very Gary, Gem Mint, and the Defects YouTube sales were great. Were they the big ones? Were they? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what we would do. I mean, the Defects were really friends of Gary that I met through. Well, I knew Jay prior as well, but they were doing stuff together. Then all three of us were doing stuff. Then we would do stuff on my channel and Gary's channel, and they worked very closely together as well. And those were good times, man. I think really Gary was the forefront of those YouTube auctions because those have been happening since I have ever been on comic book YouTube.
Yep.
And he's the biggest I ever seen do it.
Fair play. Danny has said, honestly, the most in-depth show I've ever seen. Enjoying this so far. Keep this going.
I'm glad you asked me these types of questions. I'm glad.
Thank you, Franson, Gem. Honestly, really.
Yeah.
My wife has said, oh yeah, he also said that him and his wife also said I look like Harry Potter. So
I mean, you know, is he wrong?
No. What I could come out and say I auditioned for it, but no, I didn't have the right color hair. Nara just says I only follow literally I only follow my friends' channels, and I admit I rarely open YouTube to watch the videos. Probably a good time to hit that thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to both channels. Much love. Thank you, Wayne Comics, for joining. Why is his goose sticky? Asking for a friend.
Sounds like a personal question. I
don't know. Gem Mint, the NMM of comics, aka sanitary pad. Is that on about that AKAPAD? Is it?
Oh yeah.
Gosh. I'm on a bit of a delay, but I've got to say this has been the greatest conversation in comics. Gem is, well, a gem, super honest, and it is so appreciated.
Thank you.
Wow. That is a what are your thoughts on Manu is very heavily involved in the PSA grading for comics. I don't know what you think of that.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not something I collect or really care that much about. I think it's, you know, competition is always going to be good and steel will strengthen steel. I think there's an opportunity with how much backlash CGC receives. CGC is the king, and people keep coming at the king, but they have not dethroned the king yet. So will PSA do it? CBCS is working at it, and even with Beckett behind them, I don't think they still have taken them down. So we'll see if PSA does. I think the biggest thing is a census. So that's where CBS.
They lack. Yeah,
they lacked. I think they eventually got one up. I don't even know. Yeah. But the fact that PSA is going to be starting with no census is going to be, I think, a difficult mountain to climb so late in the game. I mean, why do you wait 23 years? I don't know.
Yeah. Wayne Comics is saying, "Love your honesty, Gem." Honestly, the love in the comments for you being honest, Gem, is amazing.
I don't know why I wasn't just being honest. I don't know why I felt like this need to protect things. I don't know, man. Like, again, I think it was that whole working with a big company, getting paid from them, and again, paying me to promote them in my videos. It wasn't like hush money, or it wasn't like, it was just, you know, a sponsorship. But I don't know why I had this need to be like, I don't want to say anything that's going to make this person look bad, that person look bad. I don't know.
We've got the comic vet in the house. Thank you very much for joining us. Jason Parker Comics is saying this is going down as one of the best conversations about the world of comics on YouTube. Wow, thank you very much for that.
Cool, man. I'm happy to get shit off my chest.
Oh
yeah, no, it's way Tyrone. It's way worse than this.
Yeah, I don't know. Go and check out the comments in a Sticky Goose video. You'll see what it's like. Naj is saying it's great to hear you saying this, Gem Meat. Get back to your fans.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans, yeah. Oh Christ, if you started that, buddy, you would do well.
No, my wife keeps on messing with me about it.
Sticky Goose saved my entire family last week. Thanks, Sticky.
He may have. He's been on a roll this week, man.
Jason Parker loves the drama more than anybody. He does.
He loves the drama.
Naj is saying that she loves drama. C2E2 video about the book got me half of my followers on Instagram. Yeah, I remember Naj. She got quite a big Instagram following. She was really quite upset with the C2E2 thing, especially with not more so with yourselves, but with I think with CGC with the whole married cover.
There were so many fuck ups with that. Like, how the hell did so many things go wrong at one time, man?
Can I just be on it? It was almost like every time I was opening up an app or whatever, it was just like, oh my god, what has happened now? It's like
something new, right?
It was crazy times. But that was pretty much, I want to say that was like nearly 2 years ago now. That must have been like the summer, August maybe. Like
I think it was 2022 for sure.
Yeah. In fact, your video upload.
So my video said 1 year ago because once it hits the exact date, it'll say 2 years.
I think it was August. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Fee is loving either the chat or the video.
He follows all this shit. Y'all don't even know, man.
It's constructive, yes, but people take way too long to realize it.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Perpetual, wait till you see the video I've got coming out about James. Oh Christ. Good luck with that. Sticky Goose would do a video. He's inspired you. I imagine this is happening. Right.
Give him some content.
Yeah, so in terms of I think Sticky's here we go. I was hoping that he was still watching. He's obviously caught.
He was being quiet on purpose because he's such a he's got, I don't know what else to say. He's so I can't think of the words. He's just lurking in the background, being all fucking nonchalant about it.
I've seen people in the comments of your video and in the comments of Sticky Goose's videos. They would pretty much like to see some sort of collaboration or team up. Would you be down for that, or would what would you think?
Yeah, no, I think I've mentioned it in a couple of comments. I would be down for that. If that's something that he would like to do, I think it would make for a great conversation. I think it would be more focused around. I think I said this in this morning's live stream. The nature of human beings. Why is it that they're so drawn to the negativity? And then in the comments they'll claim I came here for comics. Did you? Because I put out a comic video yesterday, then you didn't watch it.
It's totally right. It's so nobody wants to see really like the probably. I mean, this is just speculation, but unboxings or hauls or that stuff isn't really doing well unless you've got some amazing.
There's gotta be some cool shit.
Or CGC damaged my book. Something's happened to my comic. Drama.
I had one of those do 100,000 views or something like that. It wasn't CGC. It was eBay seller sends $6,000 book in a manila envelope. But to my point earlier, man, people are, if anything in my comments has shown me, a lot of people are struggling right now. I don't give a damn about your haul because I can't pay rent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Fuck your comic book haul. Must be nice,
I don't know what your take on this is, Jem, but I think that when you start a comic book channel, I mean, it's nice to know that there's a community out there for the certain hobby that you're getting involved in. It's nice to get involved and collaborate with others. But ultimately, is it about views? You want your channel to grow. You want views. You want to get monetized. What is your, or you happy just to, not specifically yourself, but people, are they just happy to be involved in some sort of community and have friendship? What do you think?
I kind of missed a little bit. I got distracted with a phone call. What's the question again?
No, so I was just saying, I don't know what your take on this is, but when you create an Instagram, sorry, when you create a YouTube channel, you are joining like for a specific hobby, you know, or a niche. Would you? It's ultimately about getting views because that's why you first join up, or you know, it's great to know that there's a comic book or you know a community for whatever that hobby you get involved in.
Right.
Um, do you think it's okay just to want to be involved in the hobby that way and just be part of a community and have like a bunch of friendship, or
Well,
what
okay,
do you?
I'll tell you this. When I first started the channel, I put out a video and I see the comments coming in. And I feel myself kind of like enjoying seeing people's reaction to what I'm talking about. And then I want to put out another video and you're getting more comments. So it really started from, getting comments from other like-minded individuals. And then for me, I have a very addictive personality. Creating videos became a hobby in itself. Okay, I'm going to put out this video and let's see what everybody says about it. And then some people would argue and then you would clap back. And then it was like this whole thing that just came from that. And it wasn't until video started to kind of perform well that it's like, you know what, damn, maybe this could be something else. You know, maybe I got
Yeah,
50,000 views on this statue. Damn, I mean, maybe this could be like a job one day. Like that's kind of where my
yeah,
mind goes. And it started off with me wanting to put out videos every day because I used to have a long commute to work and I would
yeah,
watch people that I liked. And if they didn't have a new video, I'd be like, bro, what the fuck are you doing, man? Where's the next video? When I
yeah,
do a channel, I'm going to have a video every single day, a new video. And I didn't really realize that that's something the algorithm liked. The
yeah,
algorithm liked consistency. Boom, boom,
yeah,
boom. And I happened to help grow because it was more out of a fan, like from a fan's point of view. Like I want something, I need a video every day.
yeah. No, no,
But I mean, everybody's going to have their own reason on why they would want to make a YouTube video. I think it ultimately starts with wanting to share stuff that you like. And then
yep,
when you see people interact that like it as well, it
yeah.
becomes like this thing. You feel like you're part of a community of people. Oftentimes I'll hear people say, I have nobody I could talk about this with in my personal life. None
Oh
of my
yeah,
friends are into comics.
yep,
Everyone thought it was nerdy. But here's all these people, thousands of people that like the same shit.
yeah. No, I totally agree. And Jason Parker Comics, I did an interview similar to this with him about a month or so ago, and I asked him this question. You know, what's your favorite part about being on YouTube? And he basically just was open and honest. He just said, I love it when I go to cons or to, you know, comic events and people come up and say, hey, I'll watch your videos. I really love your videos.
It's a great
Like
feeling.
it is a great feeling. And I suppose you probably get that a hell of a lot.
It's nice, man. It feels nice. Maybe it helped create an ego that I had. But I was grounded enough to know like this is only because I'm at Comic-Con. If I was at the grocery store right now, it has happened a couple times, but for the most part, nobody knows who the fuck you are. We just happen to be in the place where everybody who would watch your shit is at.
Yeah.
But that's a great feeling. I always try to take the time to really show love to people. Like if that does happen, and try to let them know I really appreciate them and all that type of shit. But that is a great feeling for sure.
EML has said that you're the first YouTuber I consistently followed.
Yeah, thank you. EML's my guy, man. He's been supporting me a lot throughout all this shit, man. He's been around.
It's nice to know that you've got people out within you know, you did this gig that you've got. Sticky Goose says they came for the drama, period, Gem. You could have the baddest statue of all time, but they've come for the drama.
Yeah.
Sammy says, I work full time. I find it hard to keep up with all the video content that comes out.
And that's the other thing as a creator, you're battling for people's time against other people that are making videos.
Yeah. So. I said to Sticky Goose when he was on, I said, you know, I watch YouTube when I'm on the toilet, or watch it while I'm eating my food. Like if somebody drops something, you know, I'll try and watch it as quick as possible. And I think
that first hour performance really does matter.
It does 100%. And I find, you know, again, I'm a very, very small channel, but the first 48 hours are like critical of how your video is going to do.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it basically gets no push after that. So, but
yeah,
then for whatever reason, sometimes they'll
it
show a
comes back.
4-month-old video. Yeah,
Yeah, it's so crazy.
but you're
Like,
right. Like usually it kind of goes strong and then it goes like this and then it flat lines after like 2 days. You're right.
yeah. I mean, shameless plug here, but I had like a video where I went to like a vintage toy shop and I like recorded it round. I do like these little showcases of I'm trying to promote these small businesses, and it probably got like 1,000 views initially and just sat there. And then like Christmas time last year, it just like I got like 15,000 views from it. And I'm like, why is it throwing out that now? Like I've not done anything with it. Um,
Yeah, like sometimes I'll see a video recommended on my thing, and let's say it has a lot of views, and I'm like, damn man, these people getting views. I'll click on it, and then I look at all their recent videos, and they're not getting shit. So
yeah,
it's like just because you had a 15K video, your next video might do nothing. It doesn't
but
matter about the subscribers. It doesn't matter who watched the 15K video. That's why
yeah,
I said you're only as good as your last video in this thing, and it could be a tough, stressful thing, especially when you decide to make it like your full-time gig, man.
yeah. I mean, that's probably a perfect segue into maybe the next question. But essentially, Jem, you have done a video about where you've been really honest about you made a big mistake purchasing your house.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a video here, and I hope you don't mind me showing off. But
No.
you put on Instagram like
Oh,
a
the reel?
reel.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a nice house, man.
it's a very nice house. I'm just going to show that for people.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's almost like a MTV Cribs. Like, come on,
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
And I
uh,
didn't, so just for context, when we went to list this house, the realtor hired a photographer, and the photographer made this reel that I'm pretty sure they used it on their forum of whatever their realtor shit is. So this is not like
yeah,
I made this to show off. This is something that they made, and I was like, "Oh, this is
to sell
fucking
your
cool."
house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I didn't share it until I came
done
out
the
to say
video.
that, "Hey, I'm selling this house. I can't afford it." But this is it though. It's pretty cool, So it's not
No,
a flex video. It's more of like, I'm appreciating it, but the reality is that under these circumstances, I can't keep affording to live here.
yeah, no, 100%. So this is the reel. I'll play that now. It genuinely is heartbreaking to see that, like your room half empty.
Oh yeah. So what happened was when I knew that the sponsorship was over, and I knew that the channel was not really making much money. I was like, okay, well, this is the plan. I'm going to sell basically all these statues, get it so that we can get through the year, get the house ready to sell, and then list it. So I put a pretty good plan into place. I did think the house was going to sell faster. I didn't really realize because another house did sell pretty quick in the neighborhood,
Yeah,
but that might have been like somebody knew somebody, I think, type of thing. But yeah, so I put a plan into place. I sold all those things, and yeah, so yeah, to your point, it's pretty sad to see them all gone.
yeah.
But it's gonna make it easy to move once we have to move. This feels
No,
weird. My bad, Fee.
no. And to be fair, I think what's probably would be a great video potentially is documenting that move and your new setup and a
Oh
bit
yeah,
again vlogging.
and kind of showing like, hey, this is how you could get a dope setup for not that much money, type of thing. It's kind of
Yeah,
more of a relatable thing. And I'm really looking forward to that day when we can make that video, because I can't wait to get from under the burden and get into something much more affordable where I can breathe. Because like I said earlier, I'm having fucking fun right now. I can't imagine what it's going to be like when I don't have the same pressures of that,
yeah. Fees put this feels
I know,
weird.
sorry. It
No,
doesn't show everything, man. There's still a lot of the house that
no,
still
no.
doesn't show, but
And I mean, to be honest, it is a dream house. And you achieve that through what you've achieved so far in your professional life.
Bro,
So hats off to you. But
a high school dropout. Like, I
yeah,
thought it was the right. I thought it was the right move. The next move, we built it from scratch. This whole thing, so it was nice to live here. I mean, we love the house. We would rather not move. But
yeah,
even if we were making the money to cover everything, I mean, which we might be able to do, it just is more money than I need to spend. The overhead is just so high. Where, and again, we don't need it. We don't need the space. Even if we started doing way better financially, I still want to sell the house and downsize and be a little bit smarter with money next time. Even
yeah.
though, I mean, I kind of felt like house real estate, it's not like I blew it on drugs and hookers, to quote one of my old videos. It still was used in a semi-responsible way. I mean, you can't really predict these market crashes or inflation or
No,
interest
no.
rates. So the writing was kind of on the wall, though, I ain't gonna lie, but still, I kind of felt like putting it into a house would have been better than something else,
Yeah. That kind of brings me on to one of your other most recent videos where you kind of called out somebody who was digging on you.
Yeah.
AKAPAD, I think his name was.
Yeah, I think Pad are his initials, so he goes by AKAPAD.
AKAPAD, cool. But I mean, again, a bit of drama gets quite a lot of views, and people
But
are
here's the
very
thing,
much on your side.
and moving forward, this is not going to be the direction of my channel, and I'm definitely not going to drama farm. Like, I'm not going to intentionally create drama in order to make content. But he just had so many things wrong that I just had to respond to him, and I tried my best not to be mean. I didn't want to come off like I was punching down on the guy, even though I did
No.
take a couple digs at that. But there was things that he said that had to be corrected. Like, bro, you don't just write the thing off and boom, buy a building. It doesn't fucking
Yeah,
work like that, like.
yeah,
So that's why I responded to him. I wasn't gonna respond to him because it didn't have a lot of views. It's got a pretty good amount of views now, though, but not
yeah.
for I don't think the reasons he hoped.
No,
But
I mean,
I've
to
heard
be
other
fair,
things about that. I don't really want to get into it, but yeah, I just felt like I should respond because hey, you're right. I did do this and that and the third, but you don't know what the fuck you're talking about when you're talking about tax write-offs. I'll tell you that. You're never gonna do my taxes. I'll put it like that.
I think I commented. I think I've sent you a message or whatever. I said like, this guy's desperate to do your taxes.
Oh, I got the comment. I should make a video on the comments. They were fucking gold.
Yeah. But to be fair, again, like you said, although it probably not got him the views that he want, you are raising his profile.
I said, look, a lot of times these people think that if I could just get the attention, I'll blow up. But it's like, will you? Do you really have what it takes? Do you think you really have the type of content people want to watch? Here's your chance. Here's the most eyes you're going to probably get on it or have in at least some time. And let's see, man. And let's see for yourself. Because anyway, I don't want to go too much more. But yeah, I gave him a chance. I didn't tell people not to watch him. I said, yo, check him out. See if it's something that you're into.
If you're okay with me just to play a quick clip that I've got of the videos.
I remember when he blew up on YouTube and all the jealousy, but no, but all these other things, right? So he gets popular and then blows up his lifestyle, which is this is what athletes and other individuals that go broke do. They get a little bit of notoriety, they get some cash flow. He quits his job. You guys, if you're on YouTube, never quit your job. Don't quit your job. Just guys, make more time. You can work an 8 hour
That's true.
day, sleep 8 hours a night, and still have 8 hours to do whatever the heck you want. 8 hours is a long time.
Yeah. He was sped up in that video, so it doesn't sound.
Yeah, I did it because of time constraints and shit.
Yeah. But yeah, that is his channel.
But he also even says in the video, like, hey, if I was in that position, I probably would have did the same shit. So like, all right, then why are you even making the video then? Like,
yeah. And again, he's probably a big fan of yours.
Maybe.
Like, maybe, you don't know.
You might hate watch. Who knows? I mean,
no, but your house video, you can see in the background that you have some arcade systems in the background. Are you a big fan of retro gaming?
Yeah, I mean that's retro. That's the shit I grew up with. So to me, it's like these are video games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love them. And Arcade 1UP is a good example of me just making videos on shit that I genuinely like. And I genuinely liked Arcade 1UP when it came out. I reviewed a bunch of them. They really perform well. I might have a ton of subscribers that came for arcade content, and they don't watch my video anymore because they didn't click on the statue in the Omnibus videos, and now they don't get recommended, or I just don't make arcade videos anymore. Same with Berserk fans. I probably got tens of thousands of subscribers off Berserk. I don't make a lot of Berserk content, so they probably don't watch the videos. So that's how subscribers don't really matter, to be honest. But yeah, Arcade 1UP is funny because that hobby is pretty much done for. Like people have their cabs and they're happy with them, but Arcade 1-Up is pretty much done. People who had dedicated Arcade 1-Up channels are dead. So it's kind of one of those things like, man, things could come and go. You have to kind of always reinvent yourself and create the type of content that people want to see. Mortal Kombat is my favorite fucking franchise.
Yeah. So that kind of brings me on to my next question. I'm massively into retro gaming as well, as you can see from a lot of my
I like
Nintendo.
You a little bit more now. Oh yeah, I guess that's right. You got all the Mario games, the Batman NES game.
Yep. My favorite, first
quiz me
console.
on video games. I might surprise you. I think I'm more knowledgeable about video games than anything else.
So what is Gem Mint's favorite video game of all time?
I think it's got to be Mortal Kombat 2, man.
Mortal Kombat 2
Mortal Kombat 2.
Was that on SNES?
It was, but arcade port for the win every time.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, Mortal Kombat, great game.
I'll tell you what, but then I love Mario Brothers, Mario 3, and Super Mario World, and Mario 64. Try to rank those 3 games to me is like impossible, right?
Yeah, Super Mario 3 though, with the introduction to the towel was great game.
Yeah, the Tanuki suit, and I love Mario 3.
Yeah, I think as well with the first Super Mario, I don't think I actually completed it properly until I was like 33.
That was my first video game ever. My parents bought me NES with Mario / Duck Hunt. And those were my first games.
Yep. I've got
my uncle would beat Mario all the way through in front of me, and I thought he was a god. I was like, how does he do it? At the end, you have to go in a certain way where the sound goes, otherwise you get stuck in a loop, and the time would run out. So you know how it is when you're a kid and like your elders do something. Like I looked up to him like, this guy's the GOAT, man.
No, but seriously though, retro gaming at the moment is massive. Like,
oh yeah, no, I'm glad I never got into that. I'm kind of glad, but yeah, it's crazy. I watched like Retro Rick from Retro Point. I watch that like almost every day.
Oh wow,
yeah. I don't know if you're familiar with that channel. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, very great channel.
He's on Whatnot. He doesn't get any backlash for that. No,
no, it's amazing. A couple of people in the comments saying Mario 3.
Oh, Sonic. Yo, I remember seeing Sonic in a Costco. So in Costco, they would have like the new TV with the new electronics. So I remember walking into Costco, being a Mario kid. Sonic's on there. The music blew me away. You get to play it. It's bright. It's fast. It was like such a 90s like street take on a video game that made Mario look like a kid's game. I remember I love Sonic, man. Sonic 3, I feel like that's the one that was like produced by Michael Jackson, but he didn't credit himself. There's something like that.
Oh wow!
I love the music on there.
The music on those games, especially like when you're dying and you're underwater or whatever.
And
it's, times
the
running
anxiety. Bum 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 bum.
I heard you on your live stream today with Thee, where you were talking about Final Fantasy.
Oh man, I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. You may not know. So I had the tendency to cut people off. I'm sorry.
No. I was saying I massively the same. I don't know if did you ever play Chrono Trigger?
No, I had never. That's what I mentioned that in the stream. I hear that's the best RPG of all time.
Yeah,
and
mate,
I never played it on Super Nintendo.
It is my favorite game. I
Multiple
remember
endings, from what I understand.
Yeah. You go back in time and fix things, and it messes things. It's an amazing game.
First of all, just to come at the chat, Final Fantasy 7 is the GOAT. I don't want to hear this 10 shit. 9, 8, 6. I was totally let down by 6. Was supposed to be the best one. 7. You saw what it did for video games. It put Final Fantasy on the map. Legendary characters, great story. I love 13. The story's kind of wacky. Like 7 has it all, man. I just platinum. Rebirth was probably my hardest. I'm a platinum trophy hunter.
Yeah,
I'm working on my 100th one. I'm on like 83. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth was the hardest platinum trophy I ever got.
Oh wow. I've still yet to finish that because that is just it's an amazing game.
Bro. That's kind of what I've been doing all year, not making content. I've been back on games.
I love you. I heard you say as well. I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan as well. So
yeah.
I heard you say about you wanting to platinum Kakarot. That is such an underrated Dragon. That is the Dragon Ball Z game that I wanted when I was growing up.
Yeah, and I have it, and I played it for a little bit, but at the time, it was like, when did it come out? 2020 or something like that?
Yeah. I remember playing it during the literal pandemic.
It came out at a time where I was still really into the channel, and I wasn't gaming a lot then. But I remember thinking, okay, open world, you just fly around however you want. And my friend Platinum did. He told me it's not a very difficult platinum. So I'm like, I still have the disc. I'm like, man, I gotta play that shit and
Yeah.
platinum it.
I remember playing it with my I've got a daughter, and she was watching me play it, and she was heavily invested in the story. Like, she was loving it.
Yeah.
So yeah, next question, and it's the last one, buddy. I'm afraid to say, for people watching,
Okay.
it's this question has been asked in the chat a few times. What's next for Gem Mint Collectibles?
Man, I need to get a job. No, I might. I might get a job. What's next is to continue to do what I'm doing. I really like the idea of a morning show. We went Monday through Friday at 10
Yeah.
a.m. Eastern. I feel like yourself, you watch YouTube all the time. Me too. And I got to tell you, there seems to be a severe lack of good content on YouTube. Maybe that's why Sticky's blowing up, because he actually puts entertaining shit.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was telling myself, dude, you don't have a job. Just fucking go live every day. So my plan is to do that and continue to do the type of content that I like to do, which is reviewing collectibles that I like. So as statues come in, which they should still start to come in towards the end of the year, Omnibus stuff, still into that, still gonna do hauls as they come in. Hopefully I'll get to reading more again to do them. And if somebody is making a video talking shit about me, I might fucking respond, so I kind of don't like the gem that I became, where it's like I'm too big to respond.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I'll get called out. Like, if I do respond on Instagram, oh, you're such a big channel, why would you even care what he said? It's like, bitch, I'm a human being. I give a fuck what people say, especially when it's bullshit. So I think from now on, you take a shot at me, you might get a shot thrown back. So that's next for me. Hopefully the house sells. Like I said, either way, even if we start to like do really well, I think we still need to I know we still will downsize so that we can be more comfortable and continue to do this channel, whether I work or not. If I have a regular job, I still will be doing this channel. I'll just have to make videos when I get home or on days off or what have you.
Are you going to use, like, your past few years of experiences that helping you aid to get a different type of job from what you were doing before? Or are you like gonna try and fall back into that? Because you like I want to say, was it like customer?
Yeah, I was in customer service. I would do that again. Actually, I have spoke to them. They really would take me back. They're not hiring right now in that department, and they can't just bring on a random person. It's a whole thing. I would love to do that. Talking to people, helping people out, working from home. I'm able to do that once they're available. So I might do that just to kind of help this situation that we're in. And I've tried to reach out to statue companies, like I kind of alluded to. I feel like I would have been a really good fit in some capacity, whether it's making content. Maybe I can make content, not reviewing their statues because I would be working for them, but maybe displaying them or assembling or doing the out of the box, or maybe on the creative end. But you know what? I mean, if that's not in the cards, that's not in the cards. No big deal. I thought maybe for some of the not smaller, but some of the other statue companies that aren't Sideshow, hey, maybe I can get content when you're at conventions. Let me make content, and then you put it out on your socials, type of stuff. I would have liked to work within the industry that I was working in, but it hasn't happened, and it might be for a reason. It might be for I need to really just do my own thing here, stay true to myself, not have to worry about, working for a company, and be careful what I say. I kind of have a feeling, man, like, I mean, just doing what I'm doing now, I think is going to be what it is, man. Just
I agree. I mean, this past week I've listened in when I can, because obviously, like working and stuff, I'll put it in my ears while I'm working. And if you, I mean, someone's mentioned it in the chat, but like almost like a newsworthy, like you talk about like current events and just the general like that. I think people will find that interesting, because it's almost like being, Good Morning America. Welcome.
And that was the plan. I kind of thought there would be more topics daily, but it turns out
for the last slow.
Last couple of days. I mean, Monday we got to talk about the San Diego stuff. We talked about the CGC lawsuit stuff. So I think that's the point. Like, as long as there's something new and pertinent, that's happening in our world, we're gonna cover it. No filter. Thank you, babe. And that's the plan, definitely.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be days where it's slow, but man, the chat keeps it popping. Like there's
Yeah,
no way
yeah.
you can't talk about something when the chat is kind of always throwing out, hey, what is this? What is that? Do. It's super fun, super interactive. I just don't want to like be lazy and it's always an open forum chat. Like I do want to have structure when I can, but
Yeah.
some days it's gonna just be a free for all. I can already see.
It's like I mentioned this to you earlier, Jem, when you were saying about like your chat is because you've obviously got such a big channel. Like I'm struggling to keep hold of this chat with only like a few 33 people in it, but it's yeah, it's good that you have your wife Fee with you because like you keep on top of it and you
Huge help.
literally try to respond or you bring up every comment, and I think that really does well with your audience. I think they
Yep.
enjoy that, and I think if you can keep up with that, I think your channel will do really well.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the plan. Try to keep it authentic, try to keep it fun, try to keep it entertaining. These people that subscribe to you don't owe you shit. It's up
Yeah,
to you to put out content that they want to watch. So I fully am aware that a lot of videos that I put out that didn't perform didn't have a lot of effort into it, and like you get out what you put in. So
yeah.
yeah,
I think
that's the plan. Yeah,
I think
and I've thought about this. I mean, there's a lot of people that are loving to support. I think if we came out with maybe like some merch or something
yeah,
fun, that's not salesman-y, that's not something that people aren't into. Like maybe not my audience. I don't think they give a fuck about exclusive covers, but I think they would probably buy a Minty Fresh Morning T-shirt or something. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So maybe we'll do something like that. And
I've got to say, Jem, you wear the hell out of your t-shirts. Like they
no, I
look.
know that's my thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think literally everybody asks you in whatever platform you're on. They go, "Where'd you get that T-shirt? Where's
Yeah.
it from?" Maybe some sort of with people who make T-shirts, brands or whatever. You could get involved with them and get some sort of commission from that.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's true. That maybe I should be reaching out to those sites that I promoted this morning. I've also considered, man, I have contacts with publishers. Maybe I should try to see about getting a license to produce a line of shirts or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
But
Get
what you said
one.
is way more easier and easier to do. So I probably should just do that.
Just send them a couple of like modeling mug shots of you.
When I was
Where,
really good in shape too, that's why I took a lot of those pictures that you might see on my Instagram where I'm just showing off the shirt, which was really to
yeah.
promote my friends who made those. But I was like, man, maybe I could get a gig, not modeling, but like showing off this company's shirts. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But yeah, maybe. I know
Um,
actually one of the companies did fuck with me. But I don't really wear their shirts anymore. I forget. It's T Public, I think it is.
Okay. Jason Parker's asking, does your carpet glow in the dark?
No, it actually glows like in the light, really. But let me see. Hold on.
Oh, we go. Exclusive here. Got an exclusive. Another exclusive.
It kind of looks like it does because the
It,
lights are on, but I don't think it really. I think it's just how the paint or whatever it looks on it.
it's like old school arcade.
Yeah,
Chuck E.
that's yeah.
Cheese,
We searched
like,
like for bowling alley carpet, and you can't. Companies that install carpets don't really offer this, so we had to find a company that made it. Then we had to find a different company that would install it. Like really, just some guy did it off the clock because they typically don't install carpets unless it's the carpet they sold you.
yeah.
Thank
We
you,
got
man. It feels good to be back, man.
no. Now we're going to Alan's 4K celebration. Oh, so comic.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to try to jump in on
Congratulations.
that. Maybe I would. My voice is kind of fucking killing me.
No, I'm acutely aware that I've kept you pouring your heart and soul for the past 2 hours and 20 minutes, Jem. Thank you very much for that.
Thanks for the opportunity, man.
No, if anything, this is an opportunity for me that I really appreciate it. And I've actually thoroughly enjoyed talking to you. Like I said before the show, I was really nervous because I'm such a small channel, and
I told
you're
you
like
you wouldn't be nervous, man. And you're not nothing to be nervous about.
as long Boucher has said that as long as they have a good neck collar, I'll be a solid
Yeah,
customer.
that's me too. Especially a guy that's been overweight for the majority of his life. I'm picky about shirts, man. They got to have like a heaviness to them. The collar's got to be nice and thick and doesn't get too spaghetti neck or bacon neck. What is that Michael Jordan commercial? Got bacon neck.
Well, I've got to say, Jem, I am like a weird body size almost. Like I'm in between a small and a medium. So
So
like
medium.
I have, so a medium, like that needs to be a genuine thing, like 100%, because it does my head in when I'm like, I'll try it in a small. I'm like, oh, that fits perfectly, and then I'll buy a different thing, and it's like, oh, I've got to get it in a medium
Yeah.
because it's so tight. Like,
Yeah, I totally relate. Like I said, as being big and extra large, it comes in all shapes and sizes, man. Like
you just
extra large can be tight or baggy. Like what the hell?
Tyre said I've got a kid's body. To be fair, I probably have. This has been a quality show. It's 2.5 hours well spent. Thoroughly
I'm
enjoyed.
glad to hear. Thank you.
But Gem, I've just got to say, thank you with the bottom of my heart. I think you are a fantastic guy.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that you've. I don't want to say retcon because
I'll take it.
Like, yeah, I know you've
Reboot.
this is the reboot,
Yeah.
and I think the audience, the comic community, potential future subscribers and viewers, they will really, really enjoy this version of yourself.
Me too, man. I don't know why the fuck I changed. I don't know what I lost 100 pounds. I made a bunch of money. I made a bunch of bad decisions. But it's so easy to just be yourself. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, man. Like, I'm so happy that this happened. I'm so happy Sticky Goose and Mother Goose roasted me. I'm so glad that people accepted me back. I didn't really expect that. So I mean, I love it, man. I'm so happy right now. I'm looking forward to the future.
Yeah, and the future's bright, and I wish you and your wonderful wife Fee, wish you all the best, all the happiness in the world.
Thank you.
And I wish that you can continue to grow as a channel and a person. And thank you very much. And this is the end of this show. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you guys for watching for this long ass show.
I've got to be honest again. It is super hot here in the UK at the moment. I'm literally stuck to the chair. I think like a leather chair.
Peel off like.
Yeah, but no. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. And Gem,
fresh. Love you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much, and I hope to see you again on the channel. I would love to have you again at some point.
Stick around. He might have some other interesting guests.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
All right, y'all.
Bye, everyone.